Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me okay? If everyone can hear me, drop the bald headed hoe emoji in the chat and let me know that everybody can hear me okay. Hi, everybody. What's up, Aiko? Bad and Bougie? Rosemary? Jason! Hey, Jason! Hi, hi, everybody. What's going on? I am going to let some people come into the room. Hi. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm doing a live today on confidence. And this was technically supposed to be a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap. But then I watched, if you look, read my comment right here, Bad and Bougie. Can y'all see this comment right here that I'm pointing to? Thank you, Rosemary. Thank you, Bad and Bougie. Okay, y'all can hear me? Sweet. This is the best. This here is the bald headed hoe emoji. If you have an iPhone, go to the emojis and go to the ones of the faces, and then go to the bald woman and drop that one. Excuse me, y'all know I'm a pig. I'm sorry. Um. Okay. Well, if you can't find the bald headed hoe emoji, find like either the power fist emoji or the dap fist emoji. Those are the second and third options. Hey, drama. Hi, Diana. But yeah, what's going on, Barbara? Like I was saying, this was supposed to be a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap video, and I was just gonna kick it with the homies and bring up, all the mess of the mess. Hey, Soretta. But then I watched the reunion. Hey, Joanna. Hey, Spencer. And then I watched the reunion, and I'm not jocking it. Like, my recap is already up. I recorded a video for it real quick and it's up there. Yes, Joanna Father. Yes. Thank you, Joanna. This is the bald headed hoe emoji. And she knows that my favorite color is green. Thank you so much, baby. Um I Diana is silly. Oh my gosh. But I can't deal with the reunion. Like, I'm not jocking it. I'm not feeling it. I'm not excited about it. I don't want any parts of it. I did a recap just to be consistent, just because I'm a Virgo and that's what we do. But I'm not excited at all. I'm sorry. I am not happy about it. Um, but that gave me an idea, right? It made me want to restructure what my lives are going to be. Because as I keep trying to state in my videos, I keep saying that I want to have a more empathic approach to YouTube. And I really want to take YouTube. Yes, Joanna's a Virgo, work. I want to take a more empathic approach to YouTube and put more self care and self healing into my content. And I want to try to merge that with my coverage of the Real Housewives. But I also want to, separate of that, just talk with you guys just about stuff. And my real, my, my account got activated for lives yesterday, and the first one that we had last night was so much fun. Like, I cannot believe all the fun that we had, all the people that called in. I appreciate every single one of you guys so much. You guys really turned the party out. Hey, Kiki. Hey. Um, I am so appreciative to every single one of y'all that tuned in, that called in. So I wanted to have some real talk with you guys because it seemed like the people who are calling into my lives are really geared towards more than just reality TV content. We can kiki, we can gossip about that. I love all that. But I do. Like that's really like a part of me, right? Now, there's a part of me that really is like an Ayanla Van Zant stan, right? That's gonna be the next. You know what? I should start doing Ayanla since she's ended the show. That's what I'm. That's gonna be my next set of recaps. Is Ayanla Van Zant fix my life because that is probably my favorite that's probably my favorite reality show that's not on Bravo. Married to Medicine is my favorite reality show that's on Bravo, right? And so like, listen, I have been doing the work for a long time. Okay. I've been working on myself. Mama has a lot of trauma, but I'm not going to bother y'all with the drama. Okay. Catch. Mama's a rapper. Go and catch my music. But I, I want to talk about confidence today. That's really what this live is really about. I want to talk about what makes me confident. I want to talk about what makes you guys confident. I want to talk about all the things that people do to challenge confidence, right? I want to know what confidence really means to you guys. I have to put my phone up here because if my phone gets too hot, it's gonna cut off, and I'm not trying to lose y'all. But this is a cute angle. Y'all can see up my nose, but y'all probably usually can see up my nose. It's fine. Um, I, but with that being said, I'm about to drop the call in link. I just wanted to say that really quick, and I want to talk about, what makes you guys feel confident. What have people done to try to challenge your confidence, and what are the things you do to cope in your times of weakness when you feel like you really aren't like holding it together as well as you think you should be? Because if anybody's watched my videos over the past week, I apologize. I've been a little down and I wanted to just be honest with you guys and just talk about it. So I want to channel this part of my content into my lives because I think that it would serve a better purpose for me to talk about it with you guys directly instead of just making a video and hoping that you guys watch it. So I want to really have a direct conversation with you guys about that. And with that being said, I'm going to drop the call in link really quick for everybody. Um, Sorry. I'm still awkward with the transition of that, but we are in here. I'm still getting used to this. It's just day two. Now, mama's still learning. Calling into somebody's live and, oh, this fly. I'm sorry, y'all, but I don't want to let down my windows and all this wind is blowing and all this stuff. But I drive my car with my windows down. That's why you always see a lot of flies in my car. Well, not a lot of flies, but we'll see a fly or two in my car. I ain't no dirty bitch. But because I drive with my windows down and my sunroof back. Like I really drive like I'm supposed to have a Jeep, but I'll never really have a Jeep because I'm probably never going to be able to afford a Jeep with a hardtop, and I don't want to have a Jeep with no doors. Like that is just I've ridden in a Jeep with no doors before, and that's just listen. I've been suicidal, but that is not the way that I want to go. Not the way I want to go, children. I mean, ooh, I've been depressed, down, but that's not the way I want to go, children. Let me just bring somebody in. Oh, hi. Jesse with the purple hair.
Yes, hi.
Hi, honey.
How are you?
I am doing well. How are you, sweet pea?
Um, a little iffy.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. What's going on, mama?
Um, One of my best friends um passed away 2 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh, my condolences, baby.
Um, she leaves behind three really beautiful children.
Hmm.
Um, we were. I just don't know how to process this right now.
Hmm.
And I really want to apologize about last night when you brought me up on the call.
What do you mean?
Just because I watched it back and in my heart, I felt bad about some of the comments that I made when we were talking.
Mhm.
I don't like it that I talked about the handbags and
Mm.
just, I just was not, I'm sorry for some of the things that I said.
I can understand that. You didn't say anything that personally offended me, but if your interpretation of your own words states that, it was something that you don't want to represent your character, then I completely understand that. So you're always forgiven with me. Like, you didn't do anything to me. I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? Um, I mean, we all are entitled to our opinions, right? So, we think what we think. And I love an unfiltered space. So I'm the type of chick where if we're not able to say it explicitly but respectfully, then what's the point? Like, there's a way to say what you want sternly without being rude. Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And nothing that you said was disrespectful to me in my eyes, but I'm just one perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to offer, if I can, some words about your situation with your best friend, right?
Oh, of course, of course.
If you don't mind, because I am still going through this exact same thing, right? I am going, I lost my best friend in 2020, in April. It was just a couple weeks after his birthday.
Oh, I'm so
Um,
sorry.
no, it's fine. It's just hard because I lost him to the S word, right? And so it's really, I understand exactly what you mean when you say that the grieving process is hard. I don't
Yeah,
think that, and the words that I'm about to offer you are probably not going to make you feel better, because
that's
I have not
okay.
gotten. Okay, thank you, because
Yeah,
I just want to relate to you in this moment, but I don't have anything that's going to make you feel better. I just want to relate because I don't know how I'm ever going to get through the other side of that grieving process. Do you
it,
understand? Like, go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
it's really hard. I mean, you know, to I'm getting my anxiety is getting high. Um, it's just really hard to go through what they call the 7 stages of grief,
Mhm.
and I think I just miss her. We always did housewives together. We would cook dinner that night, like it would have been last night. Um,
Right.
I'm still picking up my phone thinking I can call her. You know,
I
I,
still text my best friend on a regular basis.
yeah, yeah.
I completely
And,
get it.
you know, I, this, I went to the grocery Tuesday
Mhm.
and got stuff that we would usually have on the housewives night,
Yes, ma'am.
you know.
Mhm.
So, um, but she was not here,
Right.
you know. Um, there's just so many things that we did together,
Mhm.
and now that's not going to happen.
Um, I completely relate to what you're saying. I still feel all of those emotions. Um, you know, I have a very long history with my best friend, and we really got to make a lot of memories that I didn't realize interacted with my everyday life. And so when you speak about feeling the loss of that and not being able to do that anymore, I completely understand. So I do want to try to pivot that and try to at least bring some sort of resolution to you being able to carry yourself along through the grieving process, because I want you to still be able to go through it honestly and firmly and feel all of your feelings exactly how you feel them, but
Hmm.
still be able to walk in your best spirit and be able to come through and give your best to the people around you as your best friend would want you to do. So, what are the things that you personally do to, as your pick me ups, what are the things that make you feel confident? What are the things that make you feel good about yourself? What are the things that make you cope? Just what are your feel good things,
Um,
items?
I feel good when I can get up and out of bed.
Hmm.
That for me some days is a big accomplishment.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, um, I what um
I don't want to pressure you, sweetheart. You don't have to say
no, that's
anything just because
okay.
you're up here, baby.
I don't normally like to be around people that I don't know,
Hmm.
strangers, I guess.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I try to keep myself within the boundaries that I've made for myself.
I 100% understand that.
I don't just let anybody into my life or let them get in my brain, you know,
Hmm.
because then they're in the hamster wheel and it's hard to get them out.
Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, I don't do well with strangers. But
Well, can I offer you? This is the little bit of advice that I can offer you.
okay.
If you hang out with the Baby Gorgeous gang, these are a bunch of strangers that you're gonna love hanging with. Because if you've seen the comments that have been coming in, there's nothing but love for you. There is condolences, there is hearts and love and appreciation. Joe March says, I'm so sorry for your loss. I can hear it's so devastating to you, and I'm sending you lots of love.
Oh, that's
Coach
very
G said,
nice. Thank you.
yes, there's so much love for you in here. Coach G said, love the caller's transparency. Um, Joanna said, praying for you and her kids. Grief is a MF, which, yes, it is. And
Hmm.
she said, sending you healing energy. Um, there's a lot of love in here. And Rosemary came back and said she's grieving at her best. Grief is so hard. We all grieve through it differently. And she's brave. You absolutely are. Everybody's grief is different, and the way that everybody gets through it is different. Do you know what I
Hmm.
mean? And so there's no right or wrong way through this thing. There's a line from one of my favorite movies, Love Don't Cost a Thing, where there's a guy who's reciting a poem, and at the very end of it, he says, the only way out is the way through.
Okay,
And
that makes good sense.
that line hit me so hard, and I never forgot about it. I never forgot that line, and it always stuck with me. That's actually going to be one of my next tattoos. But I want to offer that to you because avoiding it and not going through it and not feeling it at its most capacity is not going to do anything but compound it. And when
Right.
you finally do feel it, it's going to be a lot more traumatic for you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Trust what I'm saying to you.
I have to let myself feel what I'm feeling at that present moment,
Hmm.
and if I don't, I know that it's not going to be good for me
Yes,
and
ma'am.
it's not going to be good for my mental health or my physical health.
Exactly.
So, I don't even know if I'm going to get out of bed today.
I mean, sometimes we need those days. Like Kiki Wilson just said, perfect timing. Also, be patient with yourself. You essentially lost a piece of yourself because of how important they are to you. Take your time. Do you get what I
Yeah,
mean? Take your time. Listen, when my best friend Alex passed, I didn't get out of bed literally for 3.5 months.
I can understand that definitely.
Like, I did not move for 3.5 months except to go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So, you
Yeah.
know, I'm not encouraging go into that type of hole, but I'm saying take the time, take a nap, give yourself an hour, give yourself 2 hours, give yourself increments of time to really feel what you're feeling at its fullness, right? If that means
Mm-hmm.
crying, if that means screaming, if that means cursing, if that means punching the wall, well, I don't encourage that. Scratch that, scratch
No,
that,
I would have
scratch
to
that,
help pay
scratch
for
that one.
that.
Scratch that one. Scratch that one. I'm sorry. I got caught up in the moment. But just feel what you're feeling and take that time, but don't get caught in it. Don't get stuck in it. Don't get sunk in it because that's where the depression sinks in and that's where you get trapped in it. And that's where it becomes negative. Grieving is
Mm-hmm.
not a negative thing, but getting trapped in your grief is a negative thing. That I want you to remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can understand what you're saying, and I'm I'm very thankful that um you like read my post or my comment, you know, being on the, I call it the television, but um
Well, I appreciate that. I'll take it. That's no insult to me, honey.
so yeah, I think today I I want to try to laugh.
Hmm. Perfect timing. See, we have a synergy going right now because Bad and Bougie just commented, use the good times you had together to encourage you to move forward. Your friend would not, your friend would want you to be happy in the memories. That's something
Yeah,
that you have to
Deirdre
remember
would.
too.
Yeah, her name is Deirdre. Um, Even though she had drug issues, she was kind, she was sweet, she was
Hmm.
funny. Um, Sometimes, if one of us didn't have money for groceries, the other one would, we would take care of each other like that.
Of course.
If you need some groceries, okay, here's some money, go to the store.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, um, I mean, we just shared like we were a family,
Hmm.
you know.
I
Um,
completely understand that.
yeah, that was like for me, my chosen family, her and her kids. And the kids are amazing, you know. And her oldest son is the only next of kin that she has.
Hmm.
So, unfortunately, a lot of paperwork and decisions are falling on his 22-year-old shoulders,
Wow.
and
Wow. That's terrible.
I just I just try to support him as much as I can.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all really beautiful children.
I'm really proud of you for still being able to give of yourself in the midst of all of the things that you're feeling because Joe March made a comment that I wanted to bring back up for you. She said that I would also say that 2 weeks is really early days So don't push yourself to be a certain way or feel certain things. You may still be in shock, and it's such a strange time. And she said, "We are here for you." Hugs and
Oh,
kisses.
please, thank you so much for Joe March for that comment. Thank you.
I told you, sweetheart, the baby gorgeous gang is family out here. Like, we may be a little out here, but we be out here for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it's all love, and I really appreciate you being vulnerable enough to allow me to share in your experience. That really means a lot to me. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you for having me on.
Of
Thank you for
course.
reading my comments.
Of course. I try to read and respond to every single comment that I get because I really like the entire focus of my channel is to feel like a conversation with the people who are watching. And I want to feel like we're doing this even if you're watching a pre-recorded video. Do you get what I mean? So even if the conversation continues from the video to the comments, I'm always going to be available to talk to you guys. It may be a little late because I responded to some comments that were a week old today, and I'm sorry. Y'all don't judge me, but I will respond to every single comment at some point. So I'm always going to be here. M- Please comment. I appreciate it. It's the best part of having a channel for me. So thank
Oh, I'm
you.
sure it is. Yeah. Yeah. When
Yeah.
you get people participating and sending, you know, good comments, uplifting comments,
Yes, ma'am.
um, that just helps me go with my day,
Yes, ma'am.
and all the people that are commenting, through this situation.
Mhm.
I just thank them so much.
Oh, yes, ma'am. When you get a chance, go back and read through the live chat. There's a lot of love for you in here. People are offering you whatever advice that they can give. They're giving you all of the love that they can offer. And I want you to feel like this is a safe space for you to do that. And that's why I'm so honored that you called in because I feel like I'm doing my job. I really want to provide a safe space for other people to feel comfortable relating to things that they may feel is, uncomfortable or whatever outside of the regular. But
Yeah,
somebody's
I
here for you,
feel,
man, even if it's just me.
like when you first, I think, went on Adam and Jason, the
Yes,
hot,
ma'am.
messy topics.
Yes, ma'am.
Um,
Shout out to Jason. He was in the chat. I don't know if he's still here, but he was in the chat. Hey, Jason.
yeah, I think that that the way you presented yourself and with your comments and intelligence,
Oh, thank you.
um, I think that you're a really great person
Thank you so
for
much.
being able to express yourself also,
I appreciate that.
you know. So, um, I'll, oh, and I watched the rest of the live last night.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, I I like the chat, that you had the girls on,
Mm-hmm.
and well, yeah, I just call them the girls. Um,
They're
but
my
they're
girls for
so
sure.
enjoyable. You guys make a really fun four.
Thank you. Thank you. I love those girls. Justice, Bad and Bougie, Kiki, like I literally love all of those girls. I'm hoping that some of them call in because I want to talk to specifically Bad and Bougie, but Kiki is here too, and I would love to hear her take on today's topic as well. So I hope that you stick around and you
Oh
watch the rest of the
yes,
live.
yes,
Um, and if not, I appreciate you going back and watching the replay. That's really nice. Thank you so much. And I
yeah. I
hope that you go
watched
back and look
that,
at all of the
and
comments
that's
for
when
you.
I thought to myself, I did not present very well. and
It's
some
fine,
of the
sweetheart.
comments were not quite appropriate, but I did not I did not intend to say anything that would offend anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad about the purse situation.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, so I apologize to everyone for that.
That's no problem at all, sweetheart. I'll tell you this, before I let you go. I'll say again, like we all say things that are our honest truth and our honest opinion, and it may affect some people in the way that are not pleasing to them. You know, not everybody is going to agree with you, not everybody is going to love you, but as long as you're honest in yourself in the moment, then you don't have to apologize for your genuine opinions, regardless of if they're controversial, right? Now, if you don't feel like you represented yourself the way that you wanted to, then that is a different story. But I will say that regardless of what everybody feels, as long as you're being true to who you are, then you have a right to change your mind and grow later. Do you get what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
So I hope you stick around. I love you. Thank
I
you
love
so
you
much.
too,
You have been the
baby.
first caller 2 lives in a row. I appreciate you so much.
Well, I appreciate you. Just all of your inner and outer beauty. I just appreciate that for you so much.
Thank you so much, love.
Thank you.
I will
And
talk I will talk to you soon. Hopefully you catch the next live. I'm not sure when it's going to be, but I'll probably make some sort of thumbnail about it soon. But
okay.
um But yeah, I'm gonna drop you down because I have some more callers that have come into the room. So make sure you stick around, check the live chat, read all the love for you, and we'll talk soon. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much, sweet
Thank
pea.
you. Thank you. You've been a big
Mwah.
help and
I appreciate that.
support for me today.
That's what I'm here for.
Well, you can send me the bill.
I was I will send you my invoice.
Yeah, I always pay my bills on time, so send me the bill.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, love. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, love you.
Love you as well, baby. Bye bye.
Bye.
I'm gonna bring up Bad and Bougie. Guys, that, oh my God.
You know what? She really touched my heart.
Oh my God.
She really did. I went through a lot of loss too during this pandemic. A
Ooh.
lot of family members, friends, and even before that, I've lost both my grandparents, both my parents. So I can really identify with someone that is dealing with that grief because it's hard to know which way to go. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but what I think, what I was able to just get some kind of comfort in was like, say for example, my grandmother's the one that taught me how to really throw down in the kitchen. Okay.
Work. Work.
So I would cook meals and it was like being with her a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
So, just doing stuff and a lot of stuff she only taught me, like not even my mom.
I
So
love that.
certain
Very big
dishes I knew
mama
how to make
vibes.
was special between us. So now what I had to do was take that grief and say, you know what, this is my connection. When I'm doing this, even though she's not here, I'm with my grandmother. Do you see what I'm
Right.
saying? So
100%.
you have to kind of, take things that were special to you two. Like I thought it was great how she went and got the food, even though her friend wasn't here. Because as she's cooking
Yes.
the food and eating the food with watching the show, she's kind of still with her in spirit. And the most important
100%.
thing when you lose someone, I think, is to keep their spirit alive. So,
100%.
I know it's a tough time for her, and my prayers will be with her. But you just have to try to take it, turn it around and take it into a good place.
Yeah, I
But it takes time.
it really does, because I have just been able to, what works for me coping is like channeling my grief into like creative outlets. And I think what took me so long to get to this point was like, not only did I lose my best friend, that one just hit me the hardest. I also lost four other people in the
Mhm.
course of from that point to now, right? So it's been like the craziest like turn of events, because I was a person who hadn't really experienced loss on a grand scale. Like the most loss that I had experienced was my grandfather at an early age. And that's a whole different story.
Right.
I should probably do a video about that, or we could talk about it here. Um but from then to now, I hadn't really experienced that much loss. So to lose five people in 1 year, and for like two of them to really be very, very close to you, it was like I was like, I don't know how to, and like, not to be funny about it, but like the timing of it, like I'm like, I just happened to start transitioning during all of this, so my hormones are already all over the place. It is ridiculous. Girl, oh, and if y'all think I'm being funny, my ass really had to make a new cry angle
Not a
while she
new.
was sitting here
You know what?
talking.
I didn't get mine for today. I got to get mine later.
I had to get, cause listen, I was really finna like, I can't like, I'll go there, but I'm not gonna do that here. But like for real, like it took me a while to find a way to do something creative with my time. Like it took me like 6 months to finish my music. It took me all of this. It's been like a year and a half now to get back into doing YouTube stuff. Like I grief is hard, and there's no time limit on it. Do you know what I'm
No.
saying?
No. And you know what? And
I
not to be
just
on the housewives, because I know this isn't our topic, but when they talked about like, oh, I'm so sad that Kathy and them are still torn up. I thought it was more recent that her mom died. It turns out it was back in whatever. And I'm thinking, yeah, because when they said it, my mom died the same year, and it's still not easy. Like
mhm
I can identify with them still tearing up this much longer.
mhm
So like you said, there's no timeline.
yeah, because
That part
I
is
did
definitely
say,
authentic for me.
yeah, because I did question in my video. I wondered why it still affected her so heavily. Not that I'm trying to put a time limit on her grief. I just wondered why it hit her the hardest, right? That
Mhm.
was really what I was trying to get to the root of, is why it hit her the hardest versus Kyle and Kim, who seem to have been able to cope better with it. I'm sure they're not
Yeah.
over it, but you know what I mean. Like they've been able to,
Yeah, because
live.
every person is different, like me.
100%.
You can go back and look at my other channel. Every year I try to do a tribute to my mom on her Mother's Day, and every year I break down crying, and the whole chat is like
Mm,
supporting me
oh
because
my
it just
God.
those feelings just come up. So like I said, most of the time I try to use it in a positive way. Like for example, like we used to plant in our garden, with my mom and my auntie, and they would have their little
Mhm.
wine, and we would plant, we would laugh and joke or whatever. So one of my favorite things to do is plant because I like to feel that closeness. I
Right.
even go get the same plants that we used to plant. I plant them in my yard, and it's like having them kind of here. I get my
Yeah.
little wine. I go out there, even though they're not there, but it just
Mhm.
makes me feel close to them to have that wine, to plant those same plants in the ground. I'm about to look. Don't get Let me get my Candace. Look, where's my napkin?
Listen, girl, I'm already on deck, girl. You know I'm prepared, honey.
But
I don't go
so that's
nowhere
just
not ready.
so that's kind of my way of dealing with it. And maybe like I liked when she said she goes gets the food, just as if like when they used to do it together, because that's like comforting.
Hmm.
So
100%. For me, because My best friend was my platonic soulmate. Like, we were like, have you ever heard of a twin flame?
Hmm.
Y'all, if you don't know what that is, look that up. Oh my God, Joe March, I'm so sorry. She said we all need
Triangles.
triangles today. No, we don't. I'm sorry.
We do.
This isn't what I wanted to do this for, but
Next time we gonna
I
be like,
like
take
the
a break, go get
authenticity
your
of the
triangles
moment.
and come back.
Drop a triangle down in the chat. Drop a triangle emoji.
Yes,
Everybody
everybody
drop
get
a
their
triangle emoji
triangles.
down in the chat right now. Drop a triangle for everybody in the chat. Um,
Yeah.
but what helped me was doing makeup because we like our friendship started when we started doing drag together, right? And
Hmm.
so we bonded over doing makeup. And so that's part of the reason why I don't do it as much now, besides the fact that I'm not with that pretty-ish, but I'm not a pretty mess. Haha. But haha. But I that's also part of it is like I can't put on makeup without thinking about Alex, right? Like I can't like watch drag without thinking about Alex. Like there's just certain things that I can't listen to Eve without thinking about
E,
Alex.
EVE.
EVE, let me blow your mind specifically
Okay.
because that was the last song that that we that we performed together.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's somewhere on my YouTube channel or lost on one of my Instagrams that the company is hating on right now. But we all have our things, and I'm glad that people find exactly what they need to cope their way through it, regardless of how long the process is. I'm glad that we find our way through it, right? And I want to kind of transition into the actual like topic of what I wanted to talk about today. I kind of wanted to like build each other up today. Um, but once again, I appreciate Jesse's authenticity in that moment. Like I cannot begin to state how grateful and honored I am that she felt that comfortable to share that with me.
Right.
Do you get what I
Right.
mean?
And that's
Like
something that I was texting you about earlier. You have that effect on people to where people just feel comfortable, and that's a gift.
I honestly have no clue what that is because I'm a recluse. So I appreciate that, but I have no clue how to respond to it because I spend so much
But
time
you
by
don't have to
myself.
because it's a gift. It was just given to you. You don't know why. It just that's how people feel. They feel comfortable. So
Well, I appreciate it, y'all. I really
it
do
just is what it
appreciate it,
is.
y'all. I'm living. We got a whole bunch of triangles in the chat.
Shout out
We
to
got
the
triangles all
triangles.
up and down the thing. Diana's dropping triangles. Kiki,
That's what's
honey.
up.
Stephanie
I love it.
Davenport, Paul Nerd. We got the triangles popping, honey. We gonna do a thing, honey. We gonna do it right. Rosemary, yes, God, honey. There's
Triangles.
Elaine in the room, honey. We got triangles coming, honey. We're
We
not gonna
all
leave you
here
out
with it.
here. Cause this is like this is really what I created this segment for. Like I wanted to do, like I was telling you in the text that we were talking about before I came on live. I really want to make my live segment a more personal and like real segment, right? So what a hell of a way to start that off. But I want to make this a safe space for not just me to talk about what's going on with me, but really more so for me to like just be an ear and to be, you know, transactional transactional with a safe space for us to just go through together, right? Because there's a
I
lot
love
of
it.
things like we all have a lot going on and I just, listen, I promise that I'm not gonna spend each live talking about how hormones kick my ass, but I'm going my head is swimming right now, right? And so I'm not used to feeling this amount of real emotion this consistently. I'm used to burying things and just like knocking it off, right?
Mhm.
So it's hard for me to consistently feel this amount of emotion. And I need to talk to people.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, but I really wanted to do something positive and really like just motivate you, me, the chat, people, whoever chooses to watch, people, whoever finds it 5 years from now, whatever. Just I really wanted to talk about confidence because that's something that I've been struggling with for the past like couple
What?
of weeks.
And you come across
Yes.
as so confident.
Yo, well, it's a crock of BS. Sorry. Um,
I wouldn't have
it's
never
really a
thought
crock of BS. It's really a crock of BS. And it's not that like I'm like I am very I'm someone who is extremely self-aware. I'm my Virgo is always Virgoing. Do, do you get me?
yeah, my mom's
So
a Virgo, so I.
so you understand like
Mhm.
we're very specific and very particular, right? And so I've just like I've been in my bag because I'm trying to reconcile my own reality of what my experience is within my transition and what I experience when I walk out of my house and have to step outside of my own bubble. Because I think I stated this on the live last night. Like, my bubble is literally just me, my cat, and said bubble. Like, I'm very, like, right here with it. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So, like, when I'm by myself, like, this is going to sound so crazy, but when I'm by myself, I don't feel all the feelings that I'm feeling, right? It's just when I'm about to walk out of my house is when all of the hold on, wait, hold on, because we're not uh, doing that. We are not doing that. Sorry. Oh my God. Oh shit. I'm sorry. Candace, girl, I get it. I take it all back, girl. I take it all back.
Leave Candace alone now, huh?
Candace, girl, I take it all back. Girl, you can unblock me on Twitter now, girl. I take it all back.
We
I take it
here,
all
we here,
back, girl,
we
for
here.
real. Because,
No, I'm a crybaby. I love it
like,
too. I like to
but
release. I don't care. Nobody says.
I'm not used to it. Like I said, like, I don't, like, I'm very, like I said, this past episode of Potomac really hit home for me because when Giselle was talking about being like having no emotion and like how that kept coming up in her storyline, that has been a reoccurring thing throughout my life, right? That's been a thread that people close to me have always kind of like layered, whether they're joking or not, right? Spencer, charge your damn phone. Um, but it's hard because the past year I have experienced a floodgate of emotion, right? It's all been out here on the table. Like, there's been a lot of triangles going around, okay? And not just in this chat. Thank every one of you, by the way. But like, and it's not like, it's not, and the, as Kiki Palmer would say, and the gag is that these are not just new feelings where I'm just coming up with these irrational, like, I'm not, like, it's not like I'm just mad because my husband walked past me too loud. Do you get what I mean? Like, I'm feeling all of the feelings that I've been suppressing. They're like, none of the feelings are new, right? So it's just like, girl, it's a lot. But to take that back to what I was saying about the whole confidence thing, like, my confidence is always challenged when it comes to the perception of other people, right? Like, when I come on YouTube, I am triggered. Duh. Do you hear me, sis?
About
I am
what?
triggered every time I come on because I reconcile what people's stereotypical perception of people like me are and the presentation that I'm giving, right? I don't have an issue with the way that I look, the way that I give. I don't think that I don't think that I'm like not attractive, blah 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 blah. Personally, I think I'm a bad bitch. But
Me
the
too.
thing is, period, bad and bougie. Okay. Now, but like the thing is, it's hard because I'm a type of person who's very like laid back, go with the flow, easy going. Like, I don't want to have to, every time I step on camera, have a consistent conversation about, well, if you're this, why don't you look like this? And if you're doing this, why aren't you looking like this? And why aren't you doing that? And da 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 da. Da. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to have to justify me being comfortable with myself every time I walk out of my fucking house or I turn on my camera. Sorry, I ain't mean to cuss. I'm trying to do better than that, but I can't. But I ain't got a bleep in here. We
But you know
live.
what?
Sorry.
That's the thing that I've done, on my channel about, the expectations. And even when I did something recently about the colorism that goes on. And so if you're a
Mm.
dark skinned girl like me, you can't come on this mug without no makeup, without your hair done, without your, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you get this, or if which I think Garcelle is struggling with. If I say a certain thing or if I come across too strong, oh, you're aggressive because I'm a dark skinned Black girl. So I get what you're saying. Yours is different, of course, but I'm just saying I get the what you're saying about being being conscious about everything, how you present yourself, what
How
you
I'm
say, what you
perceived.
do, because there's judgment out there. Hey, who brought it? Who came up?
Hey
This is
y'all.
Kiki.
Hey, Kiki. Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't notice that picture, girl. You ain't got your
yeah,
name down there.
yeah.
Vibrant, the
We can bring
series.
it together.
This is
So
Vibrant, the series. Go look up the podcast. Get into it.
in the
She getting her
ebooks,
branding together. That's right,
period.
sis. Get that
Oh
branding
yeah, drop
right.
all your stuff so I can join.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yes.
drop everything. I'm still learning how to brand myself and everything. But I just wanted to get on here and like listen to y'all and talk to y'all about the confidence thing because
Yes. No,
I've
let's talk
spoken with
about it.
Jordan and she knows that I've been going through my own thing with my confidence and my spiritual journey and stuff like that. And I just wanted to drop in for a little bit.
Nice,
What's
Yeah.
nice.
good, mama?
So what do
The
you
floor
have
is
to
yours.
contribute? Like what is your thoughts about everything Jordan's been saying and the conversation? And even the
Um,
young lady, I call her young lady because you're young at heart, that came on earlier.
well, I'm gonna say me going through what I've been through in my spiritual journey has been really tough for me. And but it also has helped me learn that confidence is not something that you find in other people or through other people. Just like love, you have to find it within yourself. So my journey of self-love has actually opened up the doors for me to be more confident in who I am and my soul's gifts and just what I bring to the table because for so long I wasn't. Yes, Joe March. I'll link I'll give you a link in a second. But yeah, so like I just been going through so much. And how I build my confidence is just choosing every day to step on the scene, like and be proud of who I am and part of my and like how far I've come on my journey. I used to feel like very insecure, not in who I was, but how I showed up in the world
Hmm.
as a dark skinned black woman, I'm also a heavier black woman. So it's just there's so many levels and layers to it that go into why I feel like I show up in the world a different way and people treat me differently. I'm always aggressive when I speak my mind or I don't. Either I'm shy
Baby,
and I'm timid or I'm aggressive. There is no in between for me. You know what I mean?
I ain't gonna speak to that. Well, there was something that I was about to say, but I don't wanna. I wish, darn it, I wish I could.
Say it.
I wish that
Please say
no,
it.
no, I'm not gonna say it because
I want to know now.
I don't want to speak about other. Well, here's the thing. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it.
Say it.
I was watching Adam's Adam Jason's live with Zach earlier,
That was
and
me.
there was something that hit me that maybe just me being maybe it's the panther in me that just thinks this and just and just thinks about the optics of that at first. Not to say that this is something that's intentionally being done. It's just I perceive things funny and just y'all and just y'all let me know if I'm crazy.
Mhm.
um I love that when I went off on hot messy topics the other night by accident about the Kardashians, that the only word Adam could use to describe what happened was passionate. Do
Yeah,
you get what I mean?
yeah.
I and then today when I was watching their lives, he was like saying that Jason was going hard on Zach, right? Now,
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure there was an overlaying of joking to that and just their regular banter, right? But I'm pretty sure he could also see what was happening in the live chat too, and just wanted somebody to like lay off of him really quick because they were going in
Yeah,
on Zach. But that's a whole nother story. Um, I just, for me, it just hit me differently because I was like, how is it that I basically lost my shit on a live stream and I'm called passionate, and Jason is being 100% logical and he's going hard on Zach? I just, it made me think like, was he being consciously aware not to make me look like an angry black woman on live?
I think so, 100%. It's all about the language that you choose. And I don't think that Jason said anything wrong. I literally had to leave the live because it was irritating me that the other person in the live was acting like we were asking questions that were just so out of the ordinary. Like, well, she did answer those questions. She never gave a direct answer. And
Yeah.
it was like, are you being dense on purpose, or are you like just afraid of Erica? Like, what is it? Like, what's really going on?
Hmm.
Because it just felt like he would, the other person in the live, I don't want to say their name, but I think we already said it, Zach was acting like everything was cool, and I was like, no, not really. Erica doesn't. She hasn't taken any accountability. She hasn't shown any remorse. There's no empathy. And in that moment when Adam said, "Oh, Jason's going kind of hard," I'm looking like, not really, not at all. I didn't really get that he was going hard at all. But it, like you said, it did make me think about the other day, and I don't feel like you lost your shit, not at all. You were being honest. I mean, that's really how I feel
Thanks for
about
the
the whole
grace, girl.
confession thing. So, but hey,
Thanks for the grace, girl.
I mean, I feel like you was being honest. That's just my opinion, though.
Well, I appreciate it. But yeah, it just made me think like I am super aware when I'm in hot messy topics just because I don't
Hmm.
want to, there's been consistent comments made about people talking over people and it being too loud and this, that, and the third. And that
Yeah.
just triggers things in my mind. Like I'm automatically like, they're talking about me, me.
Oh
Like
yeah.
meters go off in my mind, right? Because I've always been told that I have a loud voice. My voice carries. I'm
Hmm.
always too much. I'm extra. Like I've always been told all of those things, so even when I'm just speaking in a regular tone, people think I'm yelling, right? So I'm super conscious of that to try to give my best Ebony K. Williams when I'm on hot messy topics.
Right.
And um just to comment on that specifically, but I did want to point out something very specific when it comes back to the confidence thing that we're talking about for the live. I'm like very aware of that, and I'm not exactly sure what that is. But do you guys want to speak to that be, before I move on?
I didn't see it. I wasn't there, so I don't know. But I do think that I love Adam and Jason. I do think they
Love
are
both of them.
aware, and I think they have gotten to know you. You know what I'm saying? So I
Hmm.
think that they can
Hmm.
take your comments and they can, you know what I'm saying? They can internalize them in a different way because they do know you by now. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I
Yeah.
think when he said that, it's just because he knows you a little bit, and so he kind of gets where you're coming from. But I didn't see it, so I don't know.
And see, when I'm saying that, I'm not calling Adam out. What
No,
I'm
I know
saying
you're
is that
not.
I wish
No,
there
he's
were
saying
more
that he
people
was
like
saying it like
Adam.
in defense because
Yeah.
he kind of knows how you are and he knows you weren't trying to lose your
100%.
shit or any shit like that. He just was like,
Right.
yeah, you know. So I mean, I didn't see it, but I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, like that level of perception, I admired Adam in that moment because he
Yeah.
was that
Hmm.
aware to think about that. I
I
don't,
agree.
and not to say that I don't see a lot of people doing that because I'm a recluse, so I'm not around a lot of people. But I don't see that very often. So I
Yeah.
really
Well, I think
appreciated him in that moment.
Me
yeah, I
neither.
think because I too have a strong personality, and sometimes people can be
No,
like,
you
"Oh my
don't.
god," you know. So I think even with me, like a lot of times when I say things that may come up kind of harsh, they don't take it that way. You know what I'm saying? They just like,
100%.
"Oh, okay, well that's bad," but you know what I'm saying. And I love the
Hmm.
fact that they welcome different perspectives in different, you know what I'm saying, ways of, you know what I'm saying? I love the fact that they are accepting of people, saying things and saying it in their way. So I didn't
100%.
see it, but I don't think that, from just, from what you guys describing, I didn't see it, but I don't think they took it any type of way.
I agree. I
No,
think
it was.
Adam is just very aware of not only who his audience is, but he also knows your intention. He knows
Right.
your intention
Mhm.
wasn't to be like to pop off or anything. It was just that you were passionate, and I agree with everything you said about the Kardashians because I personally am not a fan of them, but I understand why they are people's guilty pleasure because who doesn't want to watch people who are so oblivious to real life situations and they just spend money like crazy? It is nice to see. I oh I see that Facebook bad and bougie.
Because Bad and Bougie is sitting here thinking right now, it's not what you're talking about, it's the people who are
I
delivering
know
it that make it
she
sour.
love the Kardashians.
Because the
No, I
aspirational
do.
side of television is
Hmm.
Hmm.
something that the Housewives was built on, right? The
Very true.
Housewives was built on being aspirational, affluent, this, that, and the
Hmm.
third. And for some reason, when it comes from the Kardashians, the problem is when when it comes from Housewives, it feels like they're just trying to prove to us that they're fabulous, right?
Yes.
When it comes from the Kardashians, it feels manipulative. Do you get what I mean? That was my point about them canceling their show on E, saying they need a break and they're tired of being on cameras and they spent the past 10
And then
years on
coming
camera, so
back.
they're going to do something different. And then here we are less than a year later and they're doing a new show on Hulu. That's the stuff that
Exactly.
I'm talking about. Like,
But
that
then
feels
you
real
already, I
scammer-ish.
already knew that was going to happen.
I knew that it was going to happen, but the way that it was spent press wise was that they were going to focus on producing new content for
Hmm.
Hulu. They never said that it was going to be an on-camera situation, right? And I'm sure that that was
Well,
going to be on the table at some point. But I just I don't like people feeling like they need to do shock value and all of the extra stuff to keep us interested. Do you know
well,
what I
okay.
mean? Like
Real
But
the
quick,
that's
whole
the same thing
gimmick
the
of having
that's
Housewives
to
is
the
just
doing
whole
right
point.
now. They keep
I was
coming
gonna
to
say
us
that's
every
the whole
single
and
point
it
of
week.
gets
reality
and I
TV.
hate it. And I hate it though. Like that's why I always call out Kenya, Ramona, Renna for
Yes.
all
It's just
pulling this
all the
housewives
antics.
mean girls bullshit. They're all trying to be Regina
Yeah.
George, but at the
Yeah.
same time trying to make fetch happen. It's like just be people. Just be people.
Right.
Stop trying to produce television and just be people. That's why I can't stand them. Not even because they're bad people, not even because they're bad television. I can agree that they're bad television, but agree that I don't want to watch that. Do you get what I
Mm.
mean? It's like
Well,
it's like the same thing with Evelyn Lozada from Basketball Wives. Thank God she left for the second time.
I
Like as
love
much
her.
as
I love me
I
some
do
Evelyn.
too. Listen, the
I
first
wouldn't
friend
be a
group I
bad
ever
bitch.
had
That's it
was
though.
modeled after Basketball Wives, and guess who was Evelyn?
Period. Because
Okay.
you know she's the
So
baddest.
well, I
I,
didn't choose that. Somebody else chose that for me. So you take from that what you will.
she walks
Now,
away from the show one of my favorite all-time basketball wives, even though she was never a wife. Okay.
Ever.
never.
Never.
Well,
But
she was for 72 days, but they didn't get to capture that on the spinoff because it got
wasn't
canceled
she a
before it came
football wife?
out.
That wasn't a
She was a football wife, not a
Tab.
basketball
Well,
wife.
Yeah, Tab was
well,
a
you
football
just
wife.
said a wife, so I
Yeah,
just went
Oh,
with
you
all
right.
sports
You
at that
right.
point.
okay. Okay.
Which
But
I
But
think
with
that's
her and
the
Shani are my all-time favorites because, well, we'll get into that another time.
well, I feel you 100%. I love it because the reason why, and this goes back to to the topic of why we're here, confidence. I love that no
Mhm.
matter what Evelyn does, she has the confidence to walk through with her head held high, whether she looks crazy, whether she looks
Mhm.
aggressive, whether she looks like she is violent. Here's the thing: she is still one of my favorite reality television personalities to ever grace a screen. But I do not want to watch her throw a wine bottle at a bitch's head on TV.
Not at 45. No, I don't.
I don't
Well,
want to
not
watch her
at
do it
no
at
age.
18.
Not a
No,
no.
I
I
don't want to see
agree.
it,
But
period.
those
But
antics
Yeah,
like,
me
are
either. I don't
expected
want to
for
see
this
that.
group of
but
No,
as
women.
a 35-year-old woman, it's like, damn, girl, you really too grown for that.
Oh,
Okay,
you don't Mardi Gras?
but can you, because like I know I have faults, can you like a personality without liking all the things they do? Like I love
100%.
Yes,
Evelyn.
you can because they're
And I
That
didn't
human.
was
like
my
her
whole
show
They're
in
point.
the Bible
human.
because the last thing I want is black women to be seen as fighting and scratching. And, I ain't had a fight
Yeah.
in my life. You don't have to do that. But
Mm.
I can like her above her mistakes,
100%. See, here's my thing
So,
with Evelyn. I didn't like all the shit that she pulled on the show, but I still watched every episode of Living Lozada. I still bought her book, The Inner Circle. When she came back to Basketball Wives, I started watching again. And
yeah.
it became appointment TV for me again. Even though she was jumping over tables, throwing drinks on Jennifer again after she went on Ayanla. That's one of my favorite episodes of her show of all time. That was her first celebrity guest. Clock your
Mm.
references, children.
But
Like,
see,
I
what I
love
have to look
Evelyn.
at is too the way the person was raised. That she was raised in Brooklyn, and that's embedded in
Yeah.
her soul. Like me, I
Well, she
wasn't,
always claims that her
you know,
mama was off the chain.
yeah, I wasn't
Yeah.
raised in a violent type environment. So for me, okay, a fight is like, oh my God, a fight. But for her,
Mhm.
where she was raised from,
That's
that's part of her
normal.
life. But she sold me when she, took people to her mom's house, and you saw her mom live in a regular little small little two-bedroom. Like
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? So for
She
me,
real
no,
regular
I did not
degular.
like a lot of the things she did, but I like
100%.
her overall,
But
I
I
guess.
love her. Well, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
as
love
a
her. Like, if she
personality, I
gets a
love
new show today, I'm watching. Like,
Yeah.
if the sequel to The Inner Circle ever does materialize, I'm still waiting, Evelyn. If you're watching this, somebody send this to Evelyn. But if you're watching this, I still want the sequel because I still read the book often. But
Mhm.
I love her. I just hate a lot
Did she
of
do?
the shit that she did on TV,
Mhm.
right?
I get
But
it.
that speaks to the confidence that she has to walk through it and still be able to attract the people that she attracts regardless of her bad behavior. But I do want to kind of navigate off of that and ask you guys, like, what is it that you guys do to present your most confident selves, whether it's like on camera, whether it's like just in the world, whether it's in Walmart at 2 a.m., whatever.
Mhm.
Because for me, it's and let me take a second to just appreciate that we found a way to work reality TV into this conversation, even if this was not about. Thank y'all.
Every
Thank you for
time.
that. That's sickening for
Every
me
time.
because listening to y'all talk made me give an example of what I'm about to say, right? What I do for myself is I would challenge all of the things that I feel like are comfort zones for me, right? Like, I think I might have said this in my bald headed hoe shit video. I have been doing my own eyebrows since I was 12 years old, right? They
Mm.
became a really sensitive, essential part of my face, right? Like, I did not feel right if I grew back two hairs and I didn't pluck them. Like, my eyebrows were like they were the tits of my face. You would think it was my cheekbones. Shout out to Cynthia Bailey, but we got there eventually. Now, okay, but I got to a point where I felt really routine in the way that I presented myself. And I felt like I didn't look good if I did not look this one specific way and I was in this specific box. Do you see what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's how the whole shaving my head thing came about. That's how the whole shaving my eyebrows thing came about. Like, and I found that these type of antics, for lack of better words, is the is the only way that it helps me kind of break out of that, right? Like, it's like I have to do what I'm scared of in order for me to like face it, right? So instead of me being uncomfortable with only being subjected to wearing a wig, I just come on YouTube bald headed. I don't know what that is, but that's just what I do to like force myself to be confident. It's like I
You
just push
conquer it.
myself off the ledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I just push myself off of the ledge. What do y'all do?
That's a good question.
This is why I do
Um,
this.
that's why you good at it.
Right.
I do what I can, girl.
Um,
I do what I can.
You know what? I'm gonna go back because I'm pretty confident. Okay, so I don't have a lot of
100%.
times where I don't feel confident. But I remember when I first was got with my ex husband, he was like a star college athlete or whatever, and women was everywhere. And I would be like, "Oh, this happened," and she would hear me talking, and this happened, and this happened, and this chick, and this girl, and this. And my mom came in there and she said to me, "He chose you for a reason." Now, if you're going to
Hmm.
drive yourself crazy wondering about every woman and not have confidence in yourself, then just break up with him right now because you're going to ruin any relationship you have. So, if you're not going to be confident in the fact
I've had to
that
have
he
that
chose
conversation
you,
myself.
even though you that dark skinned girl, even though you that, even though you this, then just leave him because you're never going to be confident in yourself. He chose you for a
That
reason, and you need to look inside yourself and have those same reasons inside yourself as to why you believe in yourself. And if you're not going to believe in yourself, just leave them alone. And from
can
then
I
on, like, you
I'm
know
sorry, go ahead.
what? You're
Can I
right.
say something really quick? Hold that thought because I want you to finish, but I want you guys to remind me to bring something up after this because you just made me think of a point. Remind me to bring up a point that you just made me think of later about
Okay, I'm gonna
black
write
women
it
and
down.
body image. Yes, black
Okay,
women and
body
body image,
image.
thick versus skinny.
Right. So, I
Go ahead.
mean, so that's from that point on, I really started to look at myself and say, why do you love yourself? Why what is special about you? Not saying that sometimes I don't have some type of maybe lapse in confidence or whatever, but for the most part, I feel like God didn't make no mistakes and he made me the way I am and I love who I am. I don't know what it was. People can say that's too overly confident, but I don't like it's not much that I really.
I don't know. Like I I for me it's hard because I find confidence or value like as far as I go within things that aren't necessarily things that are like things that people care about. Like people care about how much money they have, how they look, how fat
Mhm.
their ass is, how small their waist is, how beat their face is, like how slayed their wig is, like how many dudes they can pull, how rich they dude is. Like people care about stuff like that and it all just like I don't understand it. It's cool to watch on TV. Like I said, I've been watching Love and Hip Hop since day one. But I'm just not that person. Like that's why I feel like I am never gonna like really have a real run in music because people don't really want to hear me rap about just how talented I am.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
Right,
very
but see, the
gimmicky
thing
now.
is that you have to notice things about yourself. Like again, I think I told you this story before, Jordan, when I first met my husband, and like even though whatever you see on the outside, I don't like to toot my own horn. I never say nothing about myself, but I'm a pretty smart girl,
beep
And when
beep.
I first met him, he didn't see that. He just saw the outside of me, and I kept trying to tell him for the
Who?
first
Beep
few
beep.
dates, like I do this, my job, I make this, I'm this and this and this, and he would be like, "Oh, that's cool. So you love the sunset?" Like he wouldn't even give a damn, right? So then finally, I said, "You will never let me tell you, what I've accomplished with my education stuff." And he was like, "I'm sorry, baby. Go ahead and tell me." And when I told him,
Mhm.
he was like, "That's you know what, you okay, you got it going on. But I would love you if you waited tables. I don't give a damn about that. Like I
You
love
know that's right.
what we have
Beep
together in
beep.
our
Like, ooh.
relationship. But he let me tell him. So that's the kind of thing I am too. I'm not so into like, oh, I am. I'm into my little outfits. I'm into my little shit. I ain't gonna lie.
I
But
mean, do that.
I'm into other shit that people would notice every day. I'm very compassionate, very heartfelt, and I'm,
Mhm.
pretty smart, I must say. So, I think it's a combination of things that women have to feel or men have to feel within themselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody's just going to see an outside thing until you show them more. You have to show them
Yeah.
because they're just gonna look at
Yeah.
Kiki, you, me. Okay, I don't like her Bob, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you got to show more
Right.
of yourself than just a Bob. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
but when
100%.
I keep going black, you guys, it's because I am working, so I have to keep checking my emails. It's not that I'm gone; it's just that I got to keep checking. Okay, before I
No,
Making
it's
get
no
my
money.
ass
problem.
before I get my ass
Um,
fired. Okay.
Making
no, it's
money.
no problem,
When ain't
girl.
that?
let me clarify because it's not that I don't like to look fly. Like, dude,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a '90s baby. Like, we're like fly by DNA, son. Like, get
Period.
into it,
Yeah.
cause I'm 1991 and we done. So you already know. Like, I stay with the flight shit. But it's not that. It's just I can look fly whether I'm wearing a t-shirt from Walmart or I'm wearing a $3,000 Balenciaga sweatshirt. Do you get what I'm
Same.
saying?
Yeah.
Like that, like the value of what I'm wearing doesn't matter to me. Like I'm gonna
Right.
be fly wearing some Walmart gray sweatpants because everybody knows that if you're wearing gray sweatpants, nobody's looking at the sweatpants.
Yeah.
So, um,
Uh-uh.
confidence.
Yeah, well, for me personally, like you said, I tend to gravitate towards. I'm not necessarily a girly girl. I do dress up from time to time, but I'm more of a t-shirt, jeans. I might throw
Rough
a
and
little
tough in
earring
my
on.
Afro puffs.
Okay, you see
Hey,
And
him.
you
I
look
feel
cute.
you,
Okay,
shorty.
you already
Yes, I love
know,
that.
Lady of Rage. Clock
I
your
love that.
references.
And you got such
Clock
a
your
pretty, you
references,
know what?
Mildred.
You got such a pretty natural smile. Your teeth are
Thank
like perfect.
you.
Yes,
Thank
girl, you
you.
have
I get it
beautiful
from my
teeth.
mama.
And
But yeah, like for me, I tend to not adorn myself in like fancy things. For me, there's a
mm,
lot. I have a lot of my pieces are very sentimental. I have a lot of stuff from my
same.
grandmother, even my grandfather. I wear a lot of their clothes. You know, it's the '70s vibe, but it's still cute. So
I
I
love
dress it up
that.
and things like that. But for me, my confidence doesn't necessarily come from my outward appearance. It comes from me knowing my worth more than anything now. It used to. Now, I'm not gonna pretend like I wasn't. I was always confident about my outward appearance. For a very
Mm,
long time, I put my worth in me and my accomplishments and how I looked on the outside and how I was dressing and if I had like bundles. I used to wear bundles all the time. Like I
I
used to
love
be
that for
wigged
you.
down, all of that. But we talked about it yesterday, and I don't. I learned that over time, I don't like the high maintenance thing. It's just not for me. I'm natural, so I love just putting my hair up, putting it back in the ponytail, things like that. I might throw a little earring on, but there's no lip gloss, but I don't wear makeup like that. Um, I tend to not do things like that. So for me, being showing up in a sense naked has really
Hmm.
helped me with my confidence. So, and I think
Oh,
that's how you should show up. Just show up naked because that's you and your most raw and authentic self. And if you can love yourself when you are your most raw version of yourself, then you don't
hmm.
need, I mean, like the confidence is just going to be there. You know what I
And
mean? You start to attract people that are not looking for you for other things in yourself. Like Bad and Bougie said, my husband wasn't looking at me for those things. And you had to
mhm,
like coax him into like, okay, well, I like these things and I'm a compassionate person. And because you want to find your soul tribe, those are the people that really understand you and get you on a deeper level than what's on the outside.
girl, I feel you 1,000%. Like
Yeah.
you are sitting here speaking my language. Cause like when you said low maintenance and coming on here naked, like sis, like
Yeah.
I
Naked.
think about it every time I turn on my camera. I'm like, girl, I don't have a
Right.
drop of makeup on. I-
Nah.
I'm sitting here calling these people, asking them to call me she, her with a full 5 o'clock mustache, girl. Like you are giving the things of the things. Like you really need to like figure it out
Yeah.
because like that's what I mean by reconciling. Like, is my presentation going against what I want people to address my identity as? And that's the thing
Mhm.
that challenges the confidence of I think I look good. I don't see nothing wrong with the packaging. Do,
Mhm.
do you get me? But it's like everybody else is looking like, wait a minute, that doesn't look like what the dictionary says this looks like.
But that's the thing, though. We are
And I hate
learning.
that.
I feel like as a group, we are still learning so much about ourselves. And again, we are learning to push the boundaries of what is normal. There is no such thing as normal if we're really living authentically in who we are. No
Right.
one is fitting in any type of box. I know that even as a cis hetero woman, well, I'm not heterosexual, but I'm bisexual. But you know
Word.
what I mean? I fit into that box. When you look at me, I look like a cis hetero woman. You would not assume that. you probably wouldn't assume certain things about me. But that's the thing. We are learning. It's all a part of self-expression.
Mhm.
So again, as a group of people, we are going away from what is normal because we know that's not attainable. It's not realistic. No one is normal. Everyone has levels and layers of themselves, and we are just starting to embrace that part of ourselves more.
100%. I agree. And I wish that on top of and along with people embracing themselves, people would also learn to embrace others embracing themselves
Exactly.
regardless of their
Exactly.
understanding of it. Like if you don't
Exactly.
like just because it's beyond your perception doesn't mean that it's something that's abnormal or strange. It's
Right.
just not you. Do you get me?
Exactly.
Like people think that I'm crazy because I find looking like an alien okay. Like I love that my cheekbones stick out further than my ears. I love that I have no eyebrows and a severely protruded brow bone. I love that I'm bald headed with a huge forehead. Like I get into all of that. Like, but I
Yeah,
also
and
grew up a
should.
fashion nerd, so like to me, weird stuff like to me like weird stuff like that is fashion. So I'm like, y'all don't get it, but like okay, we'll
Mm.
see it in
That's on
Vogue in
you.
about 2 months.
I was
It's
gonna
fine.
say, wait till they put it on the runway, then it's gonna be fashion.
Wait till y'all see girls going around with
Wait a
bald
minute.
heads and no eyebrows and just strong
Right.
cheekbones.
Then they gonna throw
I'm
like a
coming on
neon bold lip on it and call it fashion.
and I'm coming on live and I'm cussing everybody out. I promise you. I'm
Right.
going off. I'm like, excuse me, no, what you eating?
You know what? Because I'm on this medicine for my foot, I have to take
Mm,
the medicine every, 3 times a day, but you have to
Yeah.
take it with something on your stomach.
mm.
How
So
was
I'm
your
just
foot, by
eating
the way?
something so I can take the medicine.
How
So
Say
I'm
was your
what,
eating
Kitty?
foot?
so I'm eating cheese and crackers.
Oh.
Oh, say what, Kiki?
I was saying, how was your foot, by the way?
It was just what they say, severely bruised tendons.
Oh.
It
Mm.
wasn't broke, but I
Mm.
still have to wear the boot like Giselle.
I
I'm gonna
told you
send
you was
you
gonna
a
have to get a
picture.
boot.
I'm gonna
Girl,
send
please
you a
send me a
picture.
picture. I promise you, I'm shouting you out in a video. I'm
I am
be
wearing
like,
a boot after talking about
girl,
her all season. I said, "Is this my karma?" Now
I
I'm on a
promise
boot.
you. I am about to when I get off a live, I am editing my Moesha recap, right? And I am gonna put you
Please.
right there in the end, and I'm gonna be like, girl, y'all send a bald headed hoe emoji to my girl Bad and Bougie with her boo. Y'all send
Period.
boot
Put
emojis
her
to her
boot on.
page. Pray for her. Y'all send her some love. Go over to her page and
And
subscribe
then
and
you
send her
know
all
what's
kind of
Put
so
your
booty.
cash
bad?
up so we can
You
send
know
you
what's
some
so
love.
bad, you guys? You know when she was like limping around and like, "Oh, I got to sit down." I'm like, "This bitch, like she is doing too much." And so now I walk a few steps and I'll be like, "Oh, I got to
I
sit
need to sit
down."
down. Exactly.
Okay,
I'm
like
like,
honey,
Sit
"This is
I'm
my
down.
tired.
karma. This is my
Like, girl, I
karma."
am tired. That is what you get though, no shade. Honey. Child, that made me wonder what's gonna happen to me next. Cause, girl,
Right. For
listen.
real.
Because I talked about her all season, like, oh my gosh, she is on so much attention. Oh Lord, now, because when she kept saying the
I have to
bathroom
speed
has to
up.
be by me, I'm like, girl, you can walk to that bathroom. Now I'm like,
Mm-mm. That's so funny because I broke my foot 2 years ago when I was running. Well, I didn't break it. I fractured the bottom part of it. And it was a small hairline fracture. But when I tell you any pressure that I put on my foot, it was insane. I still have
that's
my
how
boot
I
and
feel.
I
And
still
mine
wear
is
it.
not even broke.
Oh
Yeah,
my
So
and
I can
God.
then like
imagine how
here
you
it's
felt.
been raining. Yeah, it's been raining. So every now and then, whenever I feel like okay, the pressure changes how your foot and your tendons and your joints work, right? So I put on my boot every now and then whenever it starts raining because I just don't want it to start hurting because it does happen
Right.
from time to
How
time.
long ago was your injury?
Mine was 2 years ago, and I still yes, and I still from time to time it still gets to acting up.
Listen, I still
So
have
See, because
back
I
problems
believe
from a
that because
car
I was
accident that I
planning to
got in a
be
few years ago.
Batgirl at a Halloween party this weekend. I got like thigh high boots I was gonna wear and everything. So
ooh.
I might just have to stay
I
home.
keep
You gotta get
telling
you a
her,
scooter.
I told you, girl, get you a pink jumpsuit and one.
No.
and one of those chain link beauty supply belts, dye
No.
the front of your wig platinum blonde and the back of your wig honey blonde, and just go as Giselle. I keep telling you, you got a costume right there. Stop playing with the kids
Ooh.
now, cause I want them pictures. No shade.
Okay, for
I don't
real.
know.
No,
Listen.
last night when I took the picture of the boot,
Oh my god.
I thought about you. I was like, I'm gonna send this to Jordan because I
Girl, I
can't
would have woke
believe.
up and peed in the middle of the night, girl. That would have woke me out. That would have woke me out, girl. Cause listen, I don't know where you gonna find a pink culotte jumpsuit on some short
Right.
notice.
For real. Where did she get that from?
I
I
don't know where
don't
I
know.
child and
Somebody's
listen.
clearance rack, some
Somebody
bullets clearance
2007
rack.
City
And I
Trends.
guarantee you somebody like Giselle is gonna have the nerve to be like, it's couture. She
Right.
had it custom made
That don't
by
make it
Grace
cute,
Giselle
man.
Bryant.
I
No
just wish.
shade. Grace Giselle Bryant is more talented than that. I ain't gonna shade
He's more
that
That's
girl like
entertaining for
that.
facts.
She's more
sure.
talented than that. I ain't
Way
gonna
more
do her.
entertaining.
I'm
Yeah,
sure that her daughter
facts.
has more taste than she does. Y'all go follow Grace Giselle Bryant.
Yeah, she
I
got
don't know why I have to say her whole name each time, but I really do
because
have to
that's
say
what
Grace Giselle
It's a
Bryant.
Giselle
moment.
does.
Yeah, like it just goes. It just flows together.
Okay, you guys, I got a great idea while I was in there cutting my cheese and crackers.
Cutting your cheese
Let me
and
know what y'all think about this, and the
come on
audience,
for the charcuterie board.
and the audience, let me know what y'all think about this too.
What's up?
Just because of how things went today, what about if we could do like a segment, maybe once a week or something, where it could be like Ask Jordan, Kelly, and well, my name is Kelly, Bada Bougie, and Kiki. So people can
Kelly.
either email us, like, like a letter, like a strawberry letter, like I'm going through this
Hmm.
situation,
Yes,
whatever, and give
strawberry
our
letter. Girl,
opinion,
clock your references, children. Yes, strawberry letter. Clock your
or
references,
they can
children.
come on the show and talk about it if they're comfortable,
Hmm.
or they can leave it in the chat. But like every week, we could do something where people could just say whether they want to be anonymous or not. They could say,
Hmm.
"Hey, this is what's going on with me. What's y'all opinion?" Because I like it because we often have different opinions, so
Yeah,
people
Hmm.
can get three different opinions in one.
I
And then
love
the
that.
chat could be interactive and give their opinions as well.
I'm down. Y'all
What you
know,
think,
child.
Kiki?
I'm in these
I
YouTube
like that
streets. I'm
idea.
down.
Okay, we're gonna do it.
I like
Okay,
it. Make it
so
cute.
chat, get into it. We're doing it whether y'all like it or not. But go ahead and drop all the bald
Right.
headed hoe emojis in the chat. If y'all want to see a segment with the three of us coming up and talking a whole bunch of shit about what's going on in our lives and yours. Now, that's not going to be the title of it. It's going to be more eloquently stated than that. But
But that's the
if you,
gist.
but that's the gist, right? So if you
For
like
real.
us doing this segment right here where it's the three of us coming up and talking together, sharing our different opinions, going in about various topics and this, that, and the third. Drop the ball headed hoe emojis, drop the fist emoji if you can't find that one. Hold on. This one or this one. It's fine. The power emoji or the pound emoji. Or and drop red triangles too. Drop that too.
Triangles.
The
I was gonna say
triangles.
that.
Drop the triangles too. Drop the triangles too, because I'm sure we gonna cry in here. Cause y'all
Exactly. I
For
know,
know I
sure.
child.
will.
And I'm
And
a
girl, I
cancer,
did
so
this.
I'm emotional anyway. I
I have a
mean,
Cancer rising, so it's a wrap for me. It's ridiculous.
I get
But
emotional about everything.
I
same.
love that. So let's get emotional about this then, because while I have you back on camera, I want to talk about this. I love that, Kiki, you mentioned something about either, I think it might have been you or it might have been Bougie, I can't remember, saying something about being a thicker girl and how that challenges your self-confidence, right, when you're going
Yeah.
out into the world. I That gave me a thought because it makes me think as someone that it gave me a thought as a black woman versus just being a woman, right? Because if you
Hmm.
go into general mainstream society, people praise people being thin, right? But if you go into black culture, you get shaded for being too skinny.
That is very true.
So I wanted to know like how you reconcile that because you mentioned it. So I wanted to know like what's the ratio of, well, not necessarily black versus white people that you're around, but the types of conversations that you're having about you being praised for being thicker versus praised for not being. Like, how does that work? Because I I complain about being this thin all the time. And as a black
Mhm.
woman, I'm looked at crazy because I like people always look at me and I'm like, they're like, what do you mean you want to like gain weight? Like, girl, that's crazy. Like, I would kill to be that small. And I'm like, well, bitch, you can have it. I'm tired of being this this small, girl. I am tired of being a bag of bones, girl. Mama wants some biscuits too. Shit. Hell. Go ahead, girl. I'm ranting. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna take this. So I grew up very, very thin. Okay.
Hmm.
In high school, I literally the Izod Lacoste was out. I bought them from the kids department because they were cheaper than buying adults.
Girl, I'm so
I
dead.
was so little. When I had my first baby, I was a size one. When I was growing up, my family's from Louisiana. So they like the
Hey.
thickness, the thick girls, right? But I grew up
Ass.
in California.
Mhm.
They would be feeding me potatoes, apple pies, every time. Then my grandmother used to always say, just give her because you know she's sickly. And I'm like, I'm not sickly.
Sickly. People
But
used to do me the
Oh
same
my
way. Like, if
yes.
she's
I've heard that as
like, they used to be
well.
like, "Girls, that child sick, honey. What's wrong? Why they so skinny?
Hmm.
Like, why they so bony and whatnot?"
so all through they would be like, she's sickly, she needs to eat, she's this, she's that. So I always was like, oh, my cousins called me olive oil, all kind of stuff. So then as I got older, my metabolism slowed down.
Mhm.
So now I have to actually watch my weight. I turned vegetarian and all of that. And my
Right.
husband, he is very clear, like, I don't like no thick girls. Like, and as I'm getting thicker, I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh shit, let me get my shit together because he don't like it. He
Mhm.
likes the thinner build, like how when he met me, I was like,
Hmm.
because I'm 5'7", I was like a size 5, like a 3,
We're
5,
basically the
something like
same
that.
height.
Now I'm size 7, you know what I'm saying? So he'd be like, no, you cool, babe, you beautiful, you thick, my thick girl. And I'm like, deep down in my mind, I'm thinking, you told me from the get you don't like thick girls. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just like, a battle where now I always have to watch my weight. Where growing up all my life, I was considered the thin girl. So what I have to say about all of that is, if you think they're going to say something, if you thin, they're going to say something. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Very
just
true.
like, you just got to be confident in who you are.
See, Kiki, go ahead, because I have a whole different take on this, but I want to hear it from
Okay.
some girls that got some ass. So, like, y'all go ahead and take over.
I'm about to eat.
well, well, I'm gonna say I didn't bad and bougie. I'm from Louisiana too. All day. I went to Xavier in New Orleans and everything. Love it.
Yes.
But but yeah, like I was very small growing up up until I was about like 10 is when I started to put on weight cuz my mom, of course, same thing. They were worried like is she like what's wrong with her? Like,
Mhm.
but as I got older, I started hanging around my family from the country. They eating everything out there, and I started to pick up
Period.
weight. I had breasts by the time I was a B cup by the time I was in the fourth grade. So like that just
What
kind of shows
privilege.
you that kind of just shows you how quickly my body started to develop. And because I had breasts by the time I was in the fourth grade, it really made me insecure about like just how my body looked. And now looking back, it wasn't that I was big, it was just that I had breasts and I also had a
Right.
little bit of booty, the thighs and all of that. So I developed pretty quickly, which was not normal. And of course, you start getting the things like, oh, she fast, all of that. Even though
Right.
I
Okay.
personally
So
I
that's
didn't have
gonna lead
sex
into
till
a
I
whole
was
nother
23.
conversation.
That's
Put
a
a
whole
pin
nother
in that
thing.
too, bad and bougie. Pin that too, bad and bougie, because we got at
Yeah,
least another half hour.
yeah, because
Because I always want to like not do more than 2 hours,
mhm,
but shit, if we still talking, it's fine. Pin how pin the perception that thicker girls get when they're younger for developing early. Because I do
right.
want to talk about that from the black experience too. But go ahead, baby.
Mhm. Yeah, but that's a big thing in the community for sure.
Hmm.
Also, like you said about weight, people now we have this thing that's like fat phobia, and if you're a certain size and you don't like that size and it's a bad thing. But I feel like as someone who has experienced both sides, we need to feel the same thing, the same way about people who are naturally slimmer people. When people have a naturally slimmer build, you shouldn't make comments that make them feel insecure about their body type because it's not something that's within their control. And
Hmm.
again, as someone who's experienced both sides of it, it's not healthy. It's not healthy for your body image as you get older. Your confidence is just different because I've seen that, oh well, she needs to eat. Are you not feeding her? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? So I got into sports to try to build my endurance. I was doing things like that, and then I was eating. So it kind of just shaped me out a certain way.
Hmm.
And I don't know, I guess because
Lucky heifer.
now that I'm older, well, I say older like I'm just so much older. I'm only 25, y'all. But
Girl, I'm
I mean, like, no, I mean, like, as far as like my mentality, I've
yeah,
gotten
yeah.
older mentally, and I look at my body and my confidence very differently. It's a very different perspective as opposed to how I was when I was in a teenager. My
100%.
cousin, she is a very naturally very slim girl, and she always gets made fun of for that as well. So it's like, as women, there is no perfect. There's no middle ground to reach, whether you're this or you're that. You're going to attract certain people. Some people aren't going to like it. Some people are going to have negative opinions. Some people are going to have positive opinions. But
Hmm.
that just goes back to having your own confidence and knowing who you are as a woman, and not letting your body or body type define you. Because again, like, I've seen both sides, and it is very detrimental to the mental of a young girl who is growing up and developing her body to say, "Oh,
100%.
you're too thin," and then when you gain weight, "Oh, well, now you're too big." Like, you know what I mean? There's no perfect way to be as a woman, and that's not
Hmm.
even just the black community. That's just as a woman in this society. Period.
Yes. See, I have a completely different take on it because I've never been thick yet. I'm still praying for it,
Yes,
child. I've hit
right.
30, so I'm
Yes.
waiting on that metabolism to just slow down. I'm like, help her
Yes,
just
and your
stop
body does
altogether.
change once you hit 30 and 25 as well. Since I turned 25, I noticed that my body type is changing again. So
Mm,
I don't know if that's like a second round of puberty. I don't know what's going on, but I'm enjoying the ride.
girl. Listen,
Yeah.
I am too, because what I'm looking like right now, child, up under all this black, baby. That ain't none of y'all
It's
business.
giving, it's
Anyway,
giving body.
mm. It's fitting, honey. It's fitting, girl. It's giving very Nelly. It's giving very. Oh, I think my
Okay.
butt's getting big, girl. I'm
Mm.
living. I'm living in these gray sweatpants, honey. But for me, it's like I'm trying to get to that now because I had a completely different approach on it when I was a kid. Because while I did grow up in the black community and like people telling me that I was sickly for being too thin, I also
Mm.
grew up like a fashion stan. And you got to remember that I'm from the 90s when like this was like the wave era, super extra rail hanger thin type of models were
Mhm.
it, right? And so for me, I decided to lean into me naturally being thin because I was like, well, damn, like if I'm just naturally going to be thin anyway, like I tried to gain weight, I tried to bulk up, I tried to do all of those other things, and none of that worked for me. So I just was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna lean into being thin, and I'm just gonna get super fucking skinny, right? And
Mm-mm.
I'm just gonna like just be like the first, the first black male wave supermodel and all of that stuff. Like I really like thought this mess out, right? Now the problem was that it ended up with me being a bulimic, right? So I
Yes.
understood what Crystal was talking about when she was, saying like regardless of how good her body looks, she's always going to see something and see something. Do you get
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I just now I'm trying to run in the complete opposite direction and I'm eating every biscuit, cracker, cookie that I can get my hand on. Do you hear me? Like I just because they say like listen, some people will think that because I'm on hormones that like that's just gonna all of a sudden turn me into an Instagram thought. It's not. Like I'm not gonna all of a sudden turn
Never said
into Kim
that.
Kardashian because like people have an extremist view on transitions, right? Because of the
Yeah, that is true.
big because of the stereotypical perception of of trans women. People expect us all to look like Laverne Cox by the end of the transition, or like Michaela J, um,
Yes, Madison,
T.S. Madison, Dominique Jackson, India Moore. Like
Amaya
people all
Scott,
expect Haley Sahar. Like,
right?
but Amaya Scott is bad as fuck though. Like I don't give a
Oh
damn
yeah,
about that. Like that aesthetic
Amaya
is
been that girl for at least 10 years now. She been
baby
killing
girl.
it,
That aesthetic,
man.
baby. I don't
I
even like
found
women, but
Amaya on
baby.
Facebook when I was like 13, and I was like, oh my god, who is she? Like,
Hmm.
oh, killing it. Jordan, we can't hear you. Well, I
We can't
can.
hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear you, Jordan. I thought it was just me.
I don't know. You muted. Oh,
I don't know what happened.
he probably gonna have to jump down and come back up. There you go.
Where'd she go?
Okay.
We back.
Can you hear me
There you
now?
Hey,
go.
baby, gorgeous. We
Yeah,
hear
we
you
can hear you
now.
now.
Okay. Hold on. Let me get audio. Can y'all hear me?
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Now, for some reason, y'all sound like the damn chipmunks. What just happened? Hold on. Let me do this one more time. I'm sorry, y'all.
StreamYard be tripping. Sometimes it does stuff like that.
Yeah. I noticed like it's
If
just
not, if that
weird.
doesn't work, then we'll have to drop down and come back.
Okay.
Did it work this time?
Yeah.
You can hear us
Okay.
good?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Sorry about that. So unprofessional.
No, StreamYard be tripping
No,
like
it
that.
yeah, it happens. It is what it is. But you
But
was on
yeah,
Amaya Scott?
listen, Shorty has been, yo, listen, Shorty. Shorty has been challenging. Listen, yo, sorry.
She
Sorry,
been
man.
eating them up for a long time. I'm telling
Amaya
you.
Scott has been challenging my sexuality for a very long time. I have never been into women, right? Never been into
Yeah.
women. I admire beautiful women, but I've never been into women. But Amaya Scott challenges me. Like, if y'all watch
Very
Queens,
beautiful.
she is giving, like,
Oh,
Amaya
she's in
Scott makes
Queens.
me, no, but she makes me feel like Jill the Thrill, though.
Oh,
She makes me feel
You
real Jill
questioning
the
some
Thrill vibes.
things.
She makes me want to just express some things because
Right.
that woman is so bad. Like,
Very.
oh my god, I'm sorry. Anyway, hey Amaya Scott, I love you. But for me, like it went the complete opposite way, and like I just leaned into that, and now I'm running to trying to gain as much weight as possible. Right now, a part of me is still trying to reconcile that because while I'm on hormones and it's not going to turn me into an Instagram thought, right? Like I'm not going to all of a sudden
Mhm.
turn into a Maya Scott just because I'm on hormones, right? Nor is that really what I want, but that's a different story. But I just like I know that like there's more that has to be done to get there, right? So but like I don't, I'm, I'm trying to figure out how to remain as confident in myself in my newer body as I was in my older body. That's really what I'm trying to say. I don't know. It's just, it feels really. I'm trying to I'm trying to reconcile that.
I
Yeah.
think we all are. You know, because I went from super skinny and then like, oh my goodness, I'm not cute.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's so sad, but what made me realize, oh, you okay, is because I had this boyfriend that was a star football player. So I'm like, I must be cute. And that's
Mm.
sad because I got my confidence on how I looked
Validation
off
in
of who
men.
I was
Oh,
with.
Hmm.
So
we
that
can have a
wasn't
whole
cute.
conversation about that.
I was gonna
Yeah, so
say,
that
don't
wasn't
get me
cute.
started.
But it took
Li-
me that to then start looking, internalizing myself and being like, well, wait a minute, this and this and this and this. But and
Mm.
then when so that's the skinny version. Now the version how I am now, it's like, well, I don't know. I guess as you get older, you don't care as much anymore.
I was gonna ask you, how has
I'm fly.
motherhood
I don't care
played
what y'all
into it?
say. You just be like that.
Yeah. How has motherhood played into it for you though? Do you feel like that made you more confident in your body and more like, well, this is just my body. My body, I mean, you literally brought
Yeah,
life into this world. You know what I mean? Is that
yeah.
mhm.
But I'm gonna tell
so?
you, like back when I had my first two, my ex-husband was still in the NFL, and there
Mhm.
was pressure. Like you better lose that weight in 6 weeks, or you ain't gonna be
Wow.
going out. Like you ain't
Wow.
gonna be like no. It's like you need to lose that weight, and it's not necessarily from your husband. It's from the group, like just
Yeah.
the women
Yeah,
as usual. All the other women
Hmm.
lose they weight in 6 weeks. Bitch,
You
you
need
better
to
be back
do
to your normal self in 6 weeks.
right.
your fellow
So
sunbeams.
I was lucky because with the first two, like I said, I started out a size one. So when I left the
Hmm.
hospital, I was a size three. So by the 2 weeks later, I was a size one again. So it was like it was easy, the first two. And
Hmm.
then the third and the fourth, you don't lose that weight as easy.
Yeah, because and then what age were you? Because now you're older and
Yeah. So I was 23 and 26.
yeah,
Okay.
that makes
So with the
sense.
second two, it was like exercising,
Girl.
it was everything. I still
Yeah.
like I didn't go back to size one. I was like at that point I was like a size five, and
Mm,
it was no way I was gonna get back down to a size one. I didn't want to get back to a size one. But it was a struggle. Like it was doing sit-ups, it was running, it was doing all
Hmm.
that. But when you're in that lifestyle, there's a pressure that yes, you will be back to normal. And you gotta realize back when I was doing it, it wasn't get surgery. It was like, no, get
Yeah,
your
like
ass and run
natural.
5 miles a day.
Right.
Go in the
Right.
gym and lift some weights. It wasn't all this just go
Hmm.
get a liposuction and you good. No, we didn't do
Yeah,
it like
because
that. We had to
surgery
actually
is the
lose the
new
weight.
girl's push present. Surgery is definitely their
period.
push present, and I've noticed, and that's why I asked, like, as you've gotten older and with your body and having children, how did your body image of yourself change? Because
Yeah, well,
it definitely
and
does.
again, I was kind of like Jordan in the fact that I always felt I was too skinny anyway. So the fact that I had
Hmm.
a little more hips, a little
You was
more
right. You
this
was
and that.
It was
growing.
like,
Okay.
ah, bitch, it's
Yeah,
money.
I
Yes.
was
Say
Okay.
it,
like,
girl. Girl,
We're
she's
throwing it
spinning
but
back.
like
I
a
was
Birkin, girl. Yes, honey.
Had
so
something to work with.
I was happy with my weight gain, but I'm just saying it was hard because you
Yeah.
can't just be thick, your stomach still got to be flat, whatever,
Yes.
because that's the lifestyle you're in,
Right.
and so you like I was doing. I remember after my last baby, I would sit there, I would watch TV, but when every commercial would come on, I would try to do 20 to 50 sit-ups. And I
I
would
do
do
that
that for an
now.
I've
hour.
been
So
there.
by the time the hour's
Yeah.
over, I'd be done like 200 and something sit-ups because it was like you got to get your body. That's the pressure.
Hmm.
So, and this is another thing I want to say, and I know this is going to come across kind of harshly, but that's why we all have different opinions.
Safe
Is
space.
I don't like to see women say, "Well, I had a baby, so that's it. Okay, I'm big now." What? No,
Oh,
you
girl, I get
still
that.
got to take pride in
I
your
agree with
body, and
you.
you got to do the best you can.
Yes, for you, not even for like
Not
anyone
for
else, but
nobody
for
else, but for
yourself.
you. Or
Right.
as you get older, like I see, like a lot of my friends, like they just blow up, and I'll just be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you want to go to gym with me, girl? Nah. You want to go for a walk down the street? Nah.
Hmm.
And then they'll be like, "Oh, my husband is, I think he's like, it's like, girl, you still got to like, it's okay to
Take
say whatever
accountability for
size
your
I am, I'm
self
happy with
image.
it,
Hmm.
but be the best you could be. You can't just
Right.
see
100%.
yourself
Cater
getting
to
bigger
yourself.
and bigger and bigger. Like, okay, I'm gonna give a perfect example. One of my friends, she's a big girl, which is fine. She's
Hmm.
beautiful. She got dimples. She got long, beautiful. She's beautiful. Okay,
Hmm.
but she last year she went to the doctor. Now she's on high blood pressure medicine.
Mm.
6 months ago, she got put on diabetes medicine. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say her name, but I'm like, it's your weight. Didn't you
Right.
notice you never had this before? But
Mm-hmm.
instead, she's willing to just go on all these different type of pills and stuff. And I'm like, no,
No.
rather than
you
changing her
need.
lifestyle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, but see, I think sometimes, and she's like, I'm fine who I am. Whoever don't accept me how I am, that's how I am. And I'm just like,
But it has
but
nothing to do with your
that's not
health, girl. It
okay
has
But
to
though.
do with
it's about the
that has
longevity
nothing
of
to do
your
with your
life.
look. It has to do with your health, girl.
Yeah,
Like,
the longevity of my
But I
life is
think
something
they
I don't
use
play
it as
with.
an excuse, like, well, if
Yeah,
I'm
it
happy with
is.
my body, then nobody should say nothing. But see, I'm that type of friend that I'm gonna be like, no, bitch, you need to come with me walking. When we
Right.
get done with cooking, we need to go walk.
No, I
Like I'm
agree.
gonna tell her because that's how
right.
she is with me. She tells me when I'm dead wrong.
Oh, can we
But
talk about
I
that real
mean,
quick?
you can't
Because
make nobody do nothing.
that is very true. That is, you can't make someone take, because it's all about having autonomy and being disciplined with yourself and feeling like you deserve to step out and feel good about yourself. The people who put it on, oh well, my man, he ain't gonna leave me or whatever. It shouldn't be about that. It should be about how you view yourself and just feeling like you deserve to walk out and be confident. When I walk outside, I want to feel good about myself. I don't play about things that threaten the longevity of my life because I want to be here as long as possible. I know that I was put here for a reason and I ain't done yet. So
One hundred
we
percent.
ain't trying to end that no time soon. So I personally, even being a bigger woman, I still do things to combat, like, okay, well, I know I don't want to get to a certain size and I want to either maintain my weight or get at a lower weight. But
Hmm.
there's no way I'm allowing myself to just lose control of my eating habits or anything like that because it's just not worth it. There's nothing. I'm not going to say that you can't be happy being a heavier size. Of course you can. You can find happiness in any version of yourself.
Hmm.
However, if I'm going to the doctor and I'm now on pills, my girlfriend is telling me, "Hey girl, like, you need to, let's go walking." And I have that support, that built-in support system already. There's no way I wouldn't take advantage of it because there are so many people who don't have that. And it's not
One
even
hundred
just about
percent.
weight, just in general having a support system. So I
And I
applaud
think,
you
That's
for
true.
being there for her.
yeah, and because see, for me, it's not even about weight or numbers or anything.
Right.
Thing about that, it's about health and body image. That's why I always tell, like, people have asked me, like, what do I do? Because I'll tell people that I work out like every day, da 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 da, that I do this and I do that, and people ask me advice for like things like that. The first thing that I always tell people is don't weigh yourself because you're gonna get so. Ooh, girl, the girl, not the hotline, girl. Who calling you?
Probably them car warranty people. I ain't
Girl,
answering.
girl, I thought you was
I
about to
ain't
say
answering.
Raekwon or somebody.
I'm
Girl, I thought
dead.
you about to
Not
say Tyrone
Raekwon.
call. Girl, girl, I thought you about to say Tyrone outside, girl.
Nah, I wouldn't. Mm-mm, mm-mm. But go
But
ahead. I'm dead.
yeah, what was I saying? I'm sorry.
You said for you, it's not. It's never been about weight. It's always been about body image.
Yes, because the thing that I always tell people is that if you get caught up in numbers, you can get to the number that you want to get to and not
And still
like how
be
your body
unhappy.
looks,
And
right?
still be unhappy.
And still right, and like you won't be happy, you don't like how your body looks. Like you have to cater your workouts, cater your lifestyle that you want to change your body into to the body that you want to have. At the end of the day,
Right.
it really has nothing to do with numbers because you can adjust that body type to whatever size bracket you're in. So if you so, so if you want to be slim thick, that depends on how slim you want to be, how thick you want to be. Like it all depends
Hmm.
on that, but it really has nothing to do with numbers because at the end of the day, that's what's going to get you caught up. You can get to that weight and still have saggy skin here, still not have still have the pooch here, still not have the weight that you
Hmm.
want here, still have no damn booty. Like it's
Right.
because you didn't mold your body to the look that you wanted to get. You were just worried about getting to that number, right?
Yes.
That's
And
why they
I've done
always
that
say
before.
that's why they always say diet and exercise.
Facts.
I'm saying like both of those
Like when
things play into
I
each
always
other.
tell people, like, and I know this is a little extreme, so I'm not advising anybody to do this, but when
Oh,
me
girl,
and
we
my
can talk
husband
about it.
decided, we was like, we're going vegetarian.
Okay.
I
I
went
lost
plant
10,
based, so I
I
get
lost
it.
like 10 pounds in 1 month. Just
Trying
boom.
to go
Yeah.
pescatarian. Yeah.
It's
Well,
because
yeah,
it's
pescatarian
so
because we
yeah.
still eat. We heavy on say seafood, but
Okay.
we just
That's
don't
my
eat no
stilo.
beef, no pork, no chicken. We eat a lot of salad. We eat a lot
Hmm.
of. If you guys go to my page, you can see I put up like a lot of the meals that I made over the summer, and a
Mm,
lot of them. Like I can make some red beans and rice that y'all will swear have meat in it. It'd be just as good. I can
girl.
make some greens that y'all would think ham hocks was in them, but they wasn't.
I can believe it because your people from Louisiana, so I know they throw down.
Period. Girl, I'm thinking about all of the
I know they
seasoning,
throw
all of
down.
the spices, all of the
Right.
sauce and the
All the
roux and the
herbs,
things.
all of it.
Girl,
And
yes, God.
I'm gonna
Hallelujah.
start putting recipes on my channel too because I put up
Please do.
just some stuff that I had made over the summer, spring rolls, all the chow mein,
Hmm.
all these kind of healthy vegetarian stuff. And people was like, okay, it's good for you to put the dish up there, but tell us how you made it. So now I'm gonna start
Please
breaking
do
it
that.
down and showing like every step I used to make it. But I'm telling you, like it just amazing like the month that we decide okay as of this day I think it was March 1st or something we were like we're going pescatarian is a better word and
Hmm.
by the next month I was just down just from eating it and it was good and I didn't miss nothing so anyway it's just a
Absolutely. I want to encourage everybody in the chat to make sure you just be your best self regardless of what society tells you that you need to look like, because at the end of the day we all look in the mirror and we all are going to like different things about ourselves regardless of what society does or doesn't like about it. So as long as you look in the mirror and see the baddest bitch you can be in that mirror, then you all good. Do you hear me? Now I want to pose one other question before we go, because that's the other pin that I wanted to put in this about um what was it? Because it just slipped my mind as I just started talking about it.
The being fast and like having a body, is that what you wanted to talk about?
I do want to talk about that too. No, here it is. Sorry. Um we can jump on that topic really quick about how people who are viewed as skinny are viewed as sick, and then people who are viewed as like thick or whatever, they're viewed as fast. We can talk about that really quick, but I also do want to talk about how much of body image is plagued or influenced by rather the validation of your partners, right? Because
Mm.
um Bougie, you're married, right? I'm married. Mine plays in a completely different way than yours, I'm sure, girl. And like we can talk about that. Kiki, I don't know what you got going on over there. I don't know
Not a
where
damn thing.
where
I ain't got
Craig
not a
at.
damn thing going on over here.
Where
I'm self
where
loving
is
over
Craig
here.
or Dana? Craig or Dana? I'm trying. I need to know
Greg
who
or
called
Dana.
you, girl. No, I'm just playing. But I want to know like how much of that plays in, like how much of that is influences your desire to want to get to a certain weight or look a certain way or want to do a certain thing. Is it because you want to keep that person happy and want to attract somebody, want to, or is that like how much of that plays into what you're doing, or do you just see it as, and like how much of it do you see as positive? Girl, is you all right? Hold on, girl, you all right?
I'm sorry that went down the wrong way go ahead no I'm listening
Oh, girl, y'all drop triangles for bad and bougie. Oh, hell. Girl, that scared the hell out of me. I didn't know what the hell was going on with you. Girl, I thought your whole throat fell out. The hell? Girl,
The
don't scare
fight
me
just
like
closed
that.
up.
Girl, and I'm sensitive too, child. I'm scary like that. Girl, I thought your whole throat fell out. Girl, I didn't know what the hell was going
look
on. Yes,
You got
God,
your
honey, preparation, girl. I was, girl, listen. Okay, still pretty, honey. Clock your references, children. But how much of how much influence does a partner having a partner being desirable to somebody else? That's really what it is. How
Mhm.
much does being desirable to another person play into your motivation to get on your body shit? Like versus you just wanting to be confident within yourself. How much of that is like validation from others versus just personal, wanting to just do you.
Well, for me in a relationship, I definitely always want to be attractive to my husband and vice versa. I think the health journey for us began together. When we first got together, oh my God, we were eating chili cheese fries. We was eating fried everything. We was meeting up at the catfish joints. We was, and then we both decided like, okay, you know what I'm saying? We need to lose some weight. You know what I'm saying? So we got into this healthy, that's how I said we decided to become vegetarian together. So it's kind of like a journey that we went on together to be more healthy. And I think it
Hmm.
had a lot to do with his brother had a stroke, and then his second brother had a stroke all within like 6 months of each other. So I think he was literally scared, like
Wake
we
up
need,
Yeah.
call.
yeah. And
Right.
his dad died of a heart attack, so he was just
Oh,
like, after his second brother had the stroke, he was like, no, babe, we gotta, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like a journey that we went on together. But of course, I always want to be attracted to him, and he always wants to be attracted to me. But I
mhm.
will say that he has went on, like, he is fanatical. Like, he leaves at 4:30 every single morning. I don't do that. I do like 3 days a week or whatever. Like, he's to the point where if he sees, like, he's like,
Mm.
he's so skinny right now. He done lost like 30 pounds. And I'll be like, what are you working on now? He's like, there's this little piece of fat on
Yes.
my back. I'm like, boy, like, I'm not to that extreme. You know what I'm saying? But so I think,
Calm
yeah,
down.
it has, yeah, exactly. It does have an effect. Like, of course, I want to stay in shape as a couple. We want to go on this journey together. But
Mhm.
am I fanatical like him? No, I'm not. Um, but I'm happy
You
with my
know it's
body.
gotten bad when you know it's gotten bad when like your husband start naming all type of muscles and shit you ain't never heard of. My Achilles tila hindern died in my fever hydran hugenhaben. Like what the fuck is you
No,
talking
and
about?
I'll be
Like
like, he'd be like, see, a little
where
bit of
is
fat
that?
back here. And I'd be like, okay, babe. He'd be like, that's what I'm gonna work on this week in the gym. I'd be like, all right.
All
Like,
right,
That
I,
do your
one six
like,
thing.
pack, that one roll. Like what
Right.
machine
Just
is gonna
one.
work on this one roll?
who
I
the
need
hope's
him
gonna
to come
see
on the
this?
channel
Because
and
what?
tell he need to come on
Right.
the channel and
How you
tell me what
talking
the
just
hell
that one
roll is he
specific
working
spot
on and
like
how he
that?
get rid of it. How you
Right.
get with a one roll? Because I got one love handle that I've been trying to get rid of forever. So if he got the secret, let me know. I'm
For
not
But then
ready.
when
real.
I be like,
Please.
oh my God, I don't like my arms or whatever, he'd be like, girl, bye, your arms are fine. So I don't know. It's just,
Yeah.
as a couple, yes, you're gonna try to impress the other person, right? Because that's your person. So I
Mhm.
don't know. I don't know how much of it is me and how much of it's him, but it's just, I don't know. Me personally, I just, this is how I feel about women. This is what, if y'all want to know what I truly tell my homegirls, this is what I tell them.
No, help a lot of me.
Whatever size you decide to be, you need to be in control of your weight. So if I
Facts.
100%.
decide, Kelly, bad and bougie, does not need to be over 150 pounds, and that's for me to control.
Mhm.
If you
Can I
decide
ask
it's
you a quick
160,
question?
if you decide it's 170, whatever you decide, but I don't never want to see, and my friends is like, that doesn't make no sense, but you should never lose control of yourself. Do you
Mm.
see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So if
Yeah.
you decide, okay, 170 or 180 or 200, whatever it is my ideal
Yeah.
weight, then control it. Don't
Mhm.
let
Yeah.
your eating
Maintain.
fried food and your non
Mhm.
exercising self, don't let that control you. You know in your mind what you want, and you stay in control of your mind. Like me, if I went in, like, when the pandemic was happening, I wasn't really exercising, I wasn't going to the
Right.
gym. I went in there and I weighed 155. And I was
Mm.
like, like, my husband was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I was like, this pandemic is not right. It's just not right. It's just
I'm
killing
so
me. And
dead.
he's just
I'm
like,
Miss
because that was,
Ponderosa.
I want to be in control of my body, and I don't want to be over a certain weight. So it's on me to make sure that I stay that weight. And more than anything, I want the women to just be healthy. Like, if you're my friend, if you're starting, now you done went to the doctor and he done said you got high blood pressure. Now you done went to the doctor and he said you got diabetes, then you need to change something. But
Right.
if you're
Clearly.
healthy, like, I got the girl in one of my book where I hurt my foot, my boot camp with me. She's a
Mhm.
big girl. She's like 200 pounds, but
Mhm.
she could do all that stuff. She could lift
Yes.
weights. She don't have no cellulite on body. She's just a big thick, beautiful
You know what
girl.
a perfect.
And
And that's where
that's
I'm at.
fine because
You
that's
know what?
her
Yeah,
build.
that's where I am.
So,
I mean,
and
I am
she's
right
staying
now.
in control of it because she's working out, she's doing her thing.
Hmm.
So, for me, even though she's a big bone girl, she's beautiful. And as long as she's in control of her destiny, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I
You
completely
know
agree with
who?
everything you
What's
just
up, babe?
said. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jordan.
I do too.
Yeah,
No, you all
because
right, baby. I agree
I'm a bigger
too.
girl, so I actually I have like personal goals for myself as far as like, okay, well, I want to make sure if I'm gonna be 200, I want to make sure my 200 look good on me. I want to make sure
Right.
that even though my stomach ain't flat, my stomach ain't falling over the side of my pants and on my, and none of that either. I'm not having to tuck it in. It ain't got to be flat, but it has. I want to maintain a certain look for myself because I know that I feel the most confident in myself that way, and just for personal preference. I don't want to have to go buy new clothes. I love my clothes. And again, a
Period.
lot of my stuff has sentimental value. So for me, I want to keep a certain look. I want to keep these pieces forever. I want to be able to pass it down to my kids too. So
I
mine is
love
more
that.
sentimental than, oh, looking for a partner and how my partner perceives me, because if that person is really for me, they gonna accept me and love me at every level anyway. But my personal goal for myself is to always maintain control. So they already
100%.
know, the person I'm with already knows I'm not gonna let myself get out of control. But again, if they have a problem with where I am, then maybe they're not the person I need to be with. But I'm not also
Right.
not married. So,
But
but
like
that is beautiful that y'all set goals for each other. I love that y'all work out together.
that is
I
sickening. I love
actually,
that.
yes, that's sexy. First of all, I just think that's sexy
Yes.
to have something that y'all like, a real partner, because that's what that means. You have a real partner in each other.
But I ain't
Um,
gonna lie, when they said I got to stay off my foot for 2 weeks, I was like, oh shit, what am I gonna gain in 2 weeks?
She was like, clean out the pantry, empty
right, you about
everything,
to start juicing?
delete Uber Eats,
You
delete
need to be
everything.
doing is juicing. If you juice, then
I'm
you
like,
won't gain no weight like that. Cause that's
you
what
see,
I'm
I'm over
doing
here
right
eating
now.
cheese and crackers, and my bitch ain't
I
eating
was one because I was like, girl, she is whatever it, girl. It looked like you had a full Caesar salad, girl. The way you was over there chewing, girl. I thought you was about to say,
She
girl, I got
was
a little,
chomping though.
filet mignon. I got me a little, penne
Okay, cause
pasta and
she
Alfredo.
fancy.
I got me a little biscuit. Cheddar biscuit.
Right.
Your little something. Girl, she said cheese and crackers. I was like, not Candace with the charcuterie board. Go off, girl. You really is bad and
That's my
bougie.
type of food. That is my type of
Yeah,
food.
with the
Oh well,
little
I'm never.
grapes
Well,
and
then
all of
I'm
that.
eating before I come to all of your parties, girl, because I'm gonna be pissed off if you mess
We gonna stop
around
at
and get me
Popeyes.
drunk and hungry. I promise, y'all not gonna like me no more. So
You
I'm,
just gonna have to spend the night. That's when you be like, I
For
can't drive.
real.
but I'm bringing
Man.
Popeyes with me. I'm bringing something to
Okay.
eat on the way. I'm eating
For
something to eat
real.
right before I drink my fucking drink. Then I'm
No,
gonna bring me something to eat right before I go to sleep.
let me tell you, with my ex-husband, he refused to go on a diet with me, right? I was trying to ask him to do what I do now with my current husband.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, so this week we're going on a cleanse. We're gonna only drink water and only
Hmm.
salads. So he calls me on the way home. So he was like, hey, what you doing? I was just like, oh, I'm making a salad, blah, blah, blah. I hear Jack in the Box. Can I take your order? I'm like, what are you
Yes.
doing?
Let me get a chicken biscuit with Cajun fries,
Ooh.
baby. Yes, Jack in the Box.
I
Sorry,
was
I'm such a
like,
bad
you
influence.
ain't even taking
Sorry.
me seriously. What are you
Right.
doing?
You can't even help me on the journey. Like,
Okay,
dang.
you can't even pretend like you could have put me on mute
Right.
when you pulled up to the damn drive-through. Anything.
Something. Something.
Like
You
you could
could have
have at
called me
least
later.
finessed it.
Something. My boy in the parking lot eating his food right now.
Right
That
before you
there,
come
like he
in.
could have FaceTimed you right there in the parking lot. Listen, girl, I'm still at work. I'm trying to get out this office, but I had to check a couple
Okay.
emails real quick. So I grabbed me a little, snack out the concession stand or something. I grabbed me,
Right.
a little pastry or something. Got a full thing of Jack in the Box biscuits, then motherfucking chicken biscuit fries,
Okay.
Fries.
everything.
All of the sauces.
Oh my
Mm,
god, I love Jack in the Box. I love Jack in the Box. See, I love that for y'all because I want that. Like,
that's
I really
beautiful. Yeah.
want that, but it really it's been difficult for me because I when it comes to like the influence of your spouse, right? I have been with my husband for 10 years. right? I've only been transitioning for one. Do you
Hmm.
understand what that means? Like, my husband has
It's
known me
something new.
way before I ever transitioned, right? Before any of this was ever even a thing, right? So the the beginning of my transition was hard for us because I married my husband as a gay man, right?
Mhm.
And now we're and now we're in a position where even though my look hasn't necessarily changed very much, the identity has. And I think that this is what I mean by those assumptions of what trans women stereotypically look like. He had an assumption of what a trans woman was. And so when that happened, I think he automatically thought I was gonna become. And my favorite example is Laverne Cox, because she is like my favorite example of hyper femininity. Like, usually
Yeah.
hyper femininity irritates me, but it's just because I'm not good at it. But she does hyper femininity so well, where like she's always in some form of glam, but she always just looks so normal and relatable. Put your damn foot up, bougie.
That's what I'm doing.
Hold the damn chair. I see you. I saw
You
that.
see me lifting up my leg.
I saw that face. I was like, girl, her foot hurt. Put your damn leg up. Stop playing with these children out here, girl. But like, so it's been hard because I experimented with womanhood because I wanted to see like how actual femininity looked on me as I identified in public as a woman. Like, I wanted to try femininity in public, right?
Mm.
And mind you, here we are, like, hi. But like that part of it really put a strain on our relationship for a while. Like it had nothing to do with like my weight or anything like that. It was more so like, oh, it was more so like I'm trying to reassure my husband that this is what you have, even though he thinks that this is what I'm turning into. And that was really
Mm.
hard because I feel like I limited my experimentation with womanhood out of fear of a negative reaction from him.
I get
Now,
it.
That makes sense.
a lot of this is past tense, and we've worked through a lot of this, right? But that does, like, I have that same thought process walking into the world, not necessarily from the same perspective, because I don't think of people's opinions in the same way that I view my husband's opinion, but it's still the same, like, area. Like, it's still the same. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, it's all the same type of thing. Yes, unison. But it just that's been the hardest part for me when it comes to like body image as it pertains to confidence. Like, because even though my husband probably prefers a more masculine look, he's had to grow into the femininity that I come with too. Because here's the difference. He met me as a feminine gay man, right? I was
Mhm.
more feminine when I before transition than I am now. That's the crazy part about it. I think it's just all about thought processes and how we view certain things and what our assumption of things are going to
Yeah.
be. And then you have to work through that, because especially when somebody is transitioning, no matter how similar you are, they think that you are becoming a brand new person, and they start mourning you, and it becomes really difficult. I don't
Oh,
give a damn who
wow.
you
I
are.
I
never
was
thought of that.
I was gonna ask you about that because there is at a sense, like you said, and I think in one of your videos you said a dead name because that
Hmm.
version of me no longer exists. I am evolving into a new person, and you must call me by this said name.
Hmm.
In your relationship with your husband, how did y'all get through those roadblocks? Like, did you feel comfortable enough expressing that, or did you
No,
feel like you didn't?
it was
And well,
hard.
yeah, and I
And
can imagine.
and like and this is like even hard for me to talk about, but I don't have a problem with it because like this is like my husband knows how I give it up. So if stuff like
Mhm.
this comes up, he knows that I don't have a problem talking about it, especially because I'm not gonna like throw him under the bus and bash him or anything like that. My husband is a great fucking man, period.
Mhm.
But I'm comfortable enough to talk about the things that we've been through because we're coming out on the other side of that, right?
Yeah.
But what I will say, the first year of my transition was hard because he had this perception of what he thought I wanted to be. And he thought that me transitioning male to female automatically meant hyper femininity, that I was going to get big titties, and that I was going to get a
Mhm.
that I was having sexual reassignment surgery, that I was going to look like a
Yeah.
completely different person, that I was going to act completely like he thought I was going to turn into Angel from Pose. Like he just knew that that was what was going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And I think I I have to take responsibility for myself in the fact that I probably put some of that into his head because I was hyper feminine before I started transitioning, right? And the reason why that is because for some reason I've registered masculinity and femininity in the opposite genders. So the more
Mhm.
masculine I've looked throughout my life, the more feminine I've presented. And as I've settled into my transition, it's been able for me to lay back into my regular look or my regular feeling, which is perceived as masculinity. Because here's the
Mhm.
kicker, my energy has not changed. My personality has not changed. My vibe has not changed. The way that I emote has not changed. But
Mhm.
when I was identifying as a man, people viewed this same energy as feminine, right? Now that I identify as a woman, people view this same energy as masculine.
Wow, that's
That is
crazy.
interesting.
Yeah.
That is very
It's been
interesting.
it's been really hard. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess I set myself up for that because I said in my video, like I was like, there's not going to be a time in the world where I don't look like a feminine man or a masculine woman. That's why I have Prince and Grace Jones tattooed on my body for
I
that
was gonna ask
reason.
you about that. About the because Prince is an effeminate man. He has
Hmm.
always presented himself as an effeminate man. So do hmm.
Love Sexy is my favorite album cover.
But I don't know. I guess I'm trying to digest everything because it's
Hmm.
not that it's not so it's not something that have not heard before. It's just
Hmm.
that in concession and hmm, in addition to you being married and your husband viewing you or thinking that your transition was going to be completely different, how how did you console him in the idea of that this is what I nothing has changed but my outward appearance and how I'm presenting myself in the world? How do you get past the
The
I
perception of what he thinks I'm transitioning
yes,
into.
how do you get past that perception of what he knew before and what he's now having to go through with you? Because you're not on this journey alone. You're still with this person. It may feel like that on the inside because this is something, but that person is still living with you and coexisting with you in this space while you're discovering these things about yourself.
Right. It was hard because as much as I tried to reassure him in the beginning, his mind wasn't budging. And he
Yeah.
was the type of person like in the beginning, it was really hard for him and he didn't want to discuss my transition at all, right? Like
Hmm.
like he says that he was doing his own research in his own time. I struggle to believe that, but God is good. Um but it was hard because it felt like I couldn't get through to him because he wouldn't allow me the space to have the conversation. Like it was
Okay.
like he made up his mind. That was what I was like. He made up his mind that like you 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 transitioning means that there's a completely different person that's coming and I don't necessarily know how to deal with that, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
It was really hard. It was really hard to deal with and I felt like I went through the first year of my transition by myself because
Hmm.
I couldn't it made it hard for me to celebrate milestones in my transition. Like I felt like I
Hmm.
couldn't celebrate getting on
I feel
hormones. I
it.
couldn't celebrate my breasts starting to grow in. I couldn't
Yeah.
celebrate the fact that my ass was growing and my hips were spreading. Like I couldn't
Hmm.
celebrate any of that to him. And
Yeah.
because I was hyper aware of me celebrating my transition looking like me embracing hyper femininity. Even with like me experimenting with different wigs, me experimenting
Mhm.
with doing my nails and things like that, I was scared to bring some of that stuff to him, but I'm one of those people who I'm gonna do it regardless. So like it just kind
Yeah,
of is what it is. But I will give my husband enough credit to say that even if he didn't like it, he always told me to do it. Like he was like, "Do what
that's
makes you
beautiful.
happy. If you like it, I love it.
Right.
If that's what you want to do, blah 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 blah." He may
Mhm.
not tell me that it makes him uncomfortable, but he's not gonna stop me doing it. And
Right.
that's something that I've always had to give him credit for because I, for a while, I got stuck in you not being able to embrace me wholly, right? And that you're stuck in this moment and you're not going on the journey with me. Like that was the part
Mhm.
that was really hard for me to accept, regardless of the things that he was doing in his own way to
Mhm.
show me that he was on the ride with me. It's almost like I couldn't see some of those things because he wasn't doing what I wanted him to do, right?
Yeah.
So it like it's been hard because he has supported me in his way, but
Mhm.
I didn't get the support that I needed from him. Do you get what I mean? Am I
Yeah.
getting that now? Yes. And it's been a growth process. And I think now that he's finally seen, like, oh, like, ain't nothing really changed except her name. And
Yeah.
that, and now I don't call her my husband, I call her my wife, which
Yeah.
I didn't even like command that type of change. Like he was in like a phase where he called me his partner for a long time,
Mhm.
and I was okay with that. I don't really like the whole partner thing, but that's a whole different thing. But I really never told him not to do it. I was like, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Would I prefer one over the other? Absolutely. But I'm not gonna tell you to be like to accelerate your process. Like I want you to
Yeah.
do whatever feels comfortable for you in your time. And eventually he just started calling me that by himself. And now like
Mhm.
he'll like call me ma'am instead of like babe and da 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 da. Like it's
Oh.
like grown a long time, right?
Yeah.
So but at first it was freaking hard, bro.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine because both of y'all are essentially being pushed outside of your comfort zones or what you know
That's
as the
something that I
norm.
had to realize.
Exactly. Your reality has completely shifted. So how you see yourself and how you look at your life is very different. Yes, essentially you're still the same person, but your viewpoint on life is very different. And along with your partner, like that, his has shifted as well.
Hmm.
So I think you answered my question perfectly.
Thank
Um,
you.
because I've always been interested about these things. I have transgender friends as well.
Hmm.
One of my close friends from college actually is transgender. And she very recently just opened up to tell me about that. So I'm
Hmm.
always curious to learn new things. And I remember we had a conversation about her family and how it was just very difficult for her father specifically to really get that she is no longer a he. She is living her life and would like to be accepted as a she. Call her by
Hmm.
her and she pronouns, call her your daughter. That was very important to her. And I told her that you have to be patient with people because this is a new reality.
I
And
have
I
had
and
to
I
learn that the hard way.
and exactly, and I didn't, and I felt like in that moment we actually fell out for a little bit because she couldn't accept that what I was saying was it was the truth, but maybe it was my delivery. I don't know, and I can't fault her for that. That's her journey. So I can't
Hmm.
really be upset with how she perceived what I said. But that is the reality is that things are different now. You have to
I
allow
com-
people to process who you are now.
I completely understand that. And see, from my perspective of it, how I went into it was we've been together 10 years. We've been married coming up on 5. Like
Mhm.
I because I like I have loved that man through some of the best of times and some of the worst of times. And like Erica Jane says, I plan on loving that man. I plan on holding that man's hand until he dies. Because, but
Right.
well, until I die, because I told him that he's not allowed to die before me. So, um, but it was like that's something that was hard for me to realize because he asked me something in the beginning of my transition that my answer fucked him up, but
Mhm.
but I know the reason why he asked. He was trying to get me to understand his position on like you don't see how different this is for me, even though
Yeah.
you claim this is the same thing. But he asked me, how would you feel if I told you that I was transitioning? And I said to him, I wouldn't give a fuck. Like, the only thing that would take me some adjusting to was if you wanted to have a full sex change because
Yeah.
anatomically, I'm not attracted to,
Mhm.
certain body parts, right?
Mhm.
Would I ride with you through it? Absolutely. I would just have to figure it out,
Yeah.
but I would still ride with you through it. So him asking me that question only personified my point even more in my mind of like, so why won't you
Mhm.
love me through it? Why is this so hard for you? And especially because I was coming off as the person who I was sitting here thinking like I'm still the same person, like I'm still the same person,
Yeah.
like my body may just look
Still
a little
Jordan.
different, but I'm
Mhm.
still me, shorty. Like I'm still the same person, like I act the same, blah 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 blah. And I
Yeah.
think here's here's the double-edged sword of it all. The same reasons that I expected my husband not to have such a problem with my transition is the same reasons that I'm having such an issue with other people like my in-laws in my life who are having such a problem with my transition. Because while my in-laws and stuff, they respect my, name change. They'll call me,
Mhm.
by my chosen name or whatever, blah blah blah. They still have a problem with the whole pronoun thing and the whole title thing, right?
Mhm.
And and I feel like personally I haven't discussed this with anybody because I just don't want to have that conversation, but I believe it's because I still look stereotypically male. I still present stereotypically masculine. So when
Mhm.
they look at me, they still see dead name they, right? They still see Isaiah, right? They don't see Jordan. So it's hard because I'm living authentically as a woman and feeling the most comfortable I have in myself. But because of my presentation, all people are seeing is still a man. That's
Yeah, but
hard.
you know what? At the end of the day, that's their issue, not yours.
It is their
Yeah.
issue. And the part that made
They
it
gonna
more
have to just
difficult
get used to it.
But the
Right.
part that made it more difficult for me was I expected that to be a saving grace for my husband. I expected
Mhm.
that to be like, well, you're still the same. Like you may be growing a little, mosquito bite a little, did situation and then, but like
Yeah.
you still gonna look you know what I'm saying? Because I put a lot of work into my body being the way it is. The only thing that I have an issue or dysphoria about is not having breasts to add femininity to my presentation. Like the problem is that I
Mhm.
look predominantly male, not that I look masculine. That's the issue, right? So I thought that that would be something that would reassure and add comfort to him, and it didn't. So it made it worse. But that's also the thing that when I go out into the world, I'm criticized and discredited for. So it's like
Mm.
that's why I'm like, what the catch 22 is going on here,
Yeah.
children? Like,
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
can I
that's
just be
tough. That
Yeah.
that that's
It
tough.
is.
like, it's like, when can I just be comfortable being my authentic self? Because if I'm being not a complete woman or not completely feminine for my husband, it still wasn't good enough at the time. But the fact that I'm not hyper feminine is invalidating my femininity to the public. And that
Yeah.
I mean, it chaps my ass, girl. I
Yeah, I
mean,
can't even
grinds my
imagine
gears.
that. That's
I was gonna
so
say,
that's a
like,
lot.
It grinds my gears. And
and
that's
I
why
can
I
see
wanted
how
to
that
have this
is.
conversation.
Yeah, I can see how that kind of plays into the well. Do I show up as more feminine or more masculine in the world, and how do I cope with my own journey if the people closest to me don't view me as a she her or don't perceive me as those pronouns because of how I look?
Hmm.
I now I understand more of what you were
Yeah,
saying
that
and what
that
others
makes a lot of
did.
sense.
It's
Yeah.
really difficult
That's tough.
because and the thing about it with me personally, I felt like I was being more understanding than I was being reciprocated. Do you get what I mean?
Mm,
I'm getting that now. So, it's not like my husband is like treating me like shit and I'm sad and I'm, doing da 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 da. We're
yeah.
fine. now, but it took a while to get here. Do you get what
It's
I'm
an
saying?
adjustment. It's an
It is.
adjustment. And when they
It
call it
is.
a
It
journey, they
really
really
is.
do mean a journey. Like this is a
Yes.
journey, not just for you, but for everyone around you as well.
And you
So
don't know how many people you're helping about by talking about this.
I was gonna say
This
that,
is why I
yeah.
do this though. Like this is why I made my just one of them days video. This
Hmm.
is why I made my bald headed hoe shit video. This is why I made my baby gorgeous gang is in this thing video because like I do not think, and I'm gonna have to clarify this as soon as I say it. I don't think very highly of myself, and when I say that, I don't think of myself as like grand or like I'm just this, bad bitch high, da 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 da. Da. Like I don't put myself on any form of a pedestal. Is what I'm saying,
Hmm.
right? So I humble myself by realizing that I'm not unique by relating to people. So I purposely share things like this to search for people who feel the way that I feel, right?
Hmm.
And a lot of it is for me. I'm being selfish in this. I'm not even going to cap. A lot of this is so I don't feel like I'm not alone, right? But the overtone of this is I want to offer that to somebody else as well. Even if they never comment, even if they never, subscribe, whatever the case may be,
Hmm.
call in or whatever. If you feel that you can see me and see yourself, then that is what I want because that's something that
Yeah.
I've never had growing up. Like I've
Hmm.
always had all the black representation growing up. I grew up in the 90s, girl. So black TV was it. So I
Yes.
always saw myself on TV. But what I never saw was black trans women on TV, nor have
Hmm.
I still have never seen a black masculine trans woman
Yeah.
except myself. There was somebody who dropped in the comments who did tell me that they knew people who had the similar experience that I did, right? That I
Hmm.
appreciated. I hope that he asked them to reach out to me because I feel like what percolates me or what perturbs me is cis women being masculine is easily understood, right? Like I feel like I'm the young and May of trans people, basically, right? So
Hmm.
people can understand studs, people can understand Young and May, people can understand Cleo from Set It Off, but people don't understand a trans woman being masculine. Like that is just all of a sudden rocket science. All of us now the
I
limit
get
does
that
not
now.
exist, right?
Yeah.
Like and it just I don't understand how to
But it
rectify
is
that because it's
something
like
that needs to be thought about because before you talking to me about this, I never even thought about it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's good that you're explaining this so people can start to think about this. Do you see what I'm saying? And be like, oh yeah, that's true. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
it lets you're out here, and that's why you're blessed with a platform and people take to you because you can break things down to people in such a simple way to where people
Hmm.
that never thought about it can be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
It's
shout
about
I
out to
appreciate
you
it.
for
visibility
doing
for
that because
sure.
it's very important.
Yeah, you really
I
are increasing
appreciate it.
visibility. Because as a black woman, I don't, again, like you said, I've never seen what you are saying, what you're expressing as your journey. I've never seen this play out. I've never seen it represented. So
Mhm.
now that we're sitting here and I'm asking you questions about it, it actually is starting to make sense to me why this has been such a transition for you mentally and just outwardly. I get it now. And again, that just goes back to your self-expression and how you view yourself really is helping me as a black woman, as a woman who was assigned at birth as female. Still, it's helping me. So imagine the people who are still in the midst of their confusion or not knowing or trying to understand where their gender identity falls on the spectrum. You are definitely helping these people. You might not see it right now, because again, there is a sense of fear that is associated with trying to place your gender identity, so maybe they don't feel comfortable enough to express this to you right now in this moment. But
Mhm.
I guarantee you that you are definitely helping somebody. I know
Yeah.
that for a fact, because you're helping me as a black woman who I'm not on the transition myself. I'm not on the journey myself, but I am able to understand
Understand.
how I look at things more and how my worldview has been shaped in patriarchy and the misogyny of it all, to be honest. Because that's
Yes,
really what it gets down to.
because really, like, my thing is the thing, like, to put shortly what I was saying, I don't understand how people can't understand my aesthetic when my icons when it comes to women are people like Lena Waithe, people like
Yes.
Grace Jones,
Yeah.
people like masculine women have always been what I resonated with. I always shout out
Hmm.
Cleo from Set It Off, like Queen Latifah. Like I
Hmm.
always like that has always been what I've recognized as like, oh, that's what type of woman I am. So I don't understand how people can understand that and not understand me. And it's because they get lost around the trans thing.
I was
That
gonna say
trans thing
it's
is like
because
a
of the
big ass cone in the middle of the
right.
highway.
Right.
And
And
it's
they can't see
like,
anything past that. And a lot of people don't want to. That's another part of it as well. If
and
we
that's
don't
what
talk
took me
about
so
it.
long to transition. Like,
Yeah.
mind you, I've known that I was trans since I was 8. Well, really, at the time, I thought I was intersex, and then at 15, I realized I was
Hmm.
trans. But I've known that I was trans for a really long time. I didn't transition because I didn't see a trans woman who looked like me. I didn't know a like, until the past 5 years, I had never heard a conversation about a woman transitioning who didn't want to have sexual reassignment surgery.
Yeah. But on the same side of that coin, as I said in
Hold on,
my
hold on,
life,
hold on,
I
hold on, hold
have
on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
oh,
What happened?
she had to hop out for a second.
Sorry, had gotten a phone call and it knocked off my audio, so
Oh
I had
yeah.
to reload
Okay.
the thing really quick. But go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. But I was saying, on the same side of that coin is I have involved myself, or I have people in my life that are trans, who are trans women as well, but they are, again, they emulate that hyper femininity. They
Hmm.
don't necessarily they don't necessarily subscribe to the, oh well, I still feel more masculine than I do feminine. And
Hmm.
the huge thing for my friend is she was trying to find a balance between that, because she identifies as like more feminine, but her outward appearance is more tomboyish.
Hmm.
So she cut her hair. She has breast. So if you at first glance you would think that she's a stud, but because
Goals.
again, and that just goes back to what you said before. At
That's
first
my
glance, you look
look.
at it, yeah, but she's also a heavier woman, so you can see the shape. She very much has a feminine shape now through her
Hmm.
transition. So
Love her for that.
maybe it's okay. I think the part of it is accepting people at each stage of their journey and not just the final part.
Exact. That's what I was
'Cause
thinking.
Yeah.
that's what we've grown accustomed to seeing. We're not
Hmm.
used to seeing the every stage of it in between, but honestly, that's how it should look anyway. Because as cis hetero people, you don't look the same in every part of your journey. From it, I feel like, to be honest, because it is some sort of a rebirth. It is a rebirth essentially. It's like watching someone go from kindergarten to 12th grade. It's the same thing. We have to get used to understanding and seeing each step and every level of that person's journey, and accepting that person at every step of their journey as well.
Yeah. Like I just wish I would have had this much don't give a fuck at 15 as I do now,
Yeah.
right? Because
Um,
I struggle with the pushback. I struggle with the negative comments. I struggle with, all the things of the things,
mhm.
but it's never deterred me or stopped me from going and doing everything that I had to do, right? And so for me, I just, ooh, I have to put a pin in something. Pin that, pin that, pin that, pin that, pin that. Make sure you guys, you two specifically, DM me once we're done with this live, because I have something else that I want to go live about, but I want to, well, I don't want to save it for its own thing.
Okay.
Um, I, I, it has taught me to like kind of like how I kind of like how I was saying earlier, to find your best self regardless of what weight you are. It's kind of
Mhm.
like I'm trying to find the happiness within myself regardless of the perception that I'll receive.
Yeah.
And so once again, why I wanted to do this live, because I wanted to talk about all the things that people did to make them feel confident, and like what people did to challenge their confidence, and how we maintain that and keep going, because at the end of the day, time keeps moving. Time
Yes.
keeps moving, and at some point we have to be okay, even if we're not really okay. Do you get what I mean? And um, I just appreciate that there is anybody willing to listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Clock your references, children. But I I just appreciate that, because it makes me feel like all the stuff that I'm feeling about myself and all of the empathy that I have for the world is not like, it's not wrong or confused. Do,
Mhm.
do you get me? Like,
Yeah.
the same, like what I wanted to do with my music is what I'm finding that I'm doing with my YouTube channel. And that is what is making it all great for me, because like I appreciate you all saying that, I have this gift and people relate to me, da 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 da. But it's really because people want to hear what I have to say. Like if nobody gave a damn, like if I would have called in hot messy topics and nobody gave a shit, this would be a completely different story. Do you get
Yeah.
what I mean?
Mhm.
So I always give the onus to you guys, because I would not be doing this if people did not want to hear it. Like I have the shit to say, but if people don't want to hear it, it doesn't matter. That's that, that
Yeah.
that's another reason why I've been so hesitant to return to music, is because I didn't feel like people gave a damn about me talking all of this positive self-love shit.
Well, I understand that because music is so gimmicky now. It's not even about anything real anymore. It's
I
so
don't know how to be a
surface
trap rapper.
and
Sorry.
material. Yeah, it's so surface and materialistic that honestly, and it's not even that there aren't people out there who want to hear what you have to say in your raps and musically. It's just that that is not what's getting played right out here. Like that's not what people are spending their money on. They're not putting energy into that. That's
Shout out
just
to
not where we're
Rhapsody.
at, and it's unfortunate. Yes, Tierra Whack as well. So, but
Yes. Yes.
look,
Yes,
we
God.
be here. We be here. Okay.
Baby, we be, cause see, I don't listen to a lot of new artists, because I
Me neither.
listen to conscious rap. Like I was
Yeah.
raised by Ice Cube and Tupac, right? So I
Yes.
don't know how to make music that isn't socially aware. But a lot of this,
Hmm.
like I can't relate to a lot of music that I listen to. So so the only reason that I'm reacting to music that is coming out today is because me as a dancer is reacting to the music, right?
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
lyrics,
It's
I
all a
don't really
beat.
give a damn about. But
Yeah.
that's why
Yes.
I'm probably, but that's why I'm probably twerking to something that sounds crazy as hell,
Mhm.
because the beat is popping, and so my body is reacting. But
Yes.
then I listen to the lyrics and I'm like, what are you talking
What?
about, ma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, my parents, they always get mad at me. They're like, "Why you always listening to our music?" I'm like, first off, you didn't write that. That was the music you came up on, but that is not your music, okay?" And
Thank
I
you.
told them, I was like, because y'all actually had a y'all told stories. It was about
Yes.
storytelling. That's how music started. It's literal a oral story. You're telling about what is going on in your life, how you coping with X, Y, and Z, how the world is right now, and how you dealing with it, and how it's affecting your community. That's how rap started. And now it's just a bunch of ad libs and we trapping, we getting money, we getting bitches, we fucking on bitches, we paying for bitches
You trying
BBLs.
to
And
convince
it's
people how
like,
bad you are. Like,
yes, I got guns, I got runners, we killers around here, but it's on a nice ass beat. I won't lie, these beats are
it
really, really
is.
good.
I mean, I be throwing this ass in a circle. I'm telling you, to
Okay?
the
No,
craziest
real
lyrics.
seriously. But
Listen,
there's no real message. It's absolutely void of any true real message that can actually help someone get through anything. You know what
that's
I
why
mean?
when
Like
people ask me who my
it's
favorite rapper is and I say Pac and Q, people look at me like I'm crazy, because they're like,
yeah.
the dude from Are We There Yet? Like, no, the nigga that wrote No Vaseline, stupid. Grow up.
Okay, no
Fuck.
Vaseline. And
Period. Like,
let's just give him credit for how good of a rebrand that was. Because oh my god, he
if
went from
anybody, I
no
have never
Vaseline,
seen
we
a
be
more effective
clubbing,
rebrand.
West Side
Now he's the nigga in the
Connection.
family movies. Like,
Right, like oh my goodness, I thought about
I
that too because
like,
Before he was Ice Cube, he was in West Side Connection. Okay, and if you
yes,
know, you know
Well,
that
just
was
like
some
I
gangster
love
rap.
Tupac, you know, and
just like
people
Pac
always
and
say
Digital
like
Underground.
they name
Yes,
all Tupac songs, but I always say Tupac was like a poet. Like
yes,
if I
and
Yes.
ever
there's no
heard
real art to it no
poetry,
more.
Brenda Had a Baby was more poetry than rap. You know what
Yes,
I'm saying?
I'm
Like it
telling
was
you, I
so.
got cheated out of my Tupac on Def Poetry Jam moment. Like I could like every time I watch Def Poetry Jam, I always think Tupac was supposed to be here.
yeah, he should be
Like he
hosting
was
all of that.
supposed to be here,
Right.
bro.
And
I
I
feel you,
was a
son.
teen mom as well, and so
Hmm.
when I hear him, I mean, when I first heard that song, my ex husband at the time, he brought it in and he was just like, damn, and he just like put it in the stereo and was like booming that all over the house, and I was like,
You
damn,
could
like
feel
it
it.
brought me
That's
to look.
serious.
It made
Yeah, you
me
Yes.
pull
feel
out
it.
my little
Yes.
motherfucking title.
Girl,
I was
listen.
like, what?
Your friend.
Girl. Had
Got
you
my
sitting in the chair like, girl, how deep, girl? Girl, he
Oh
said that,
man.
girl. My
But
God, what
no,
he
like
been through,
it's
girl?
true. There's no real art to it anymore. No, because music back then was poetry. Whether it was
Yes.
rough, it was tough, or if it was just like maybe it was explicit, but there was art to it. There was integrity. There was passion behind your words. It was them trying to help their people and their peers and their family and their community get through the rough time of the 90s.
And just stuff
And
they really, really saw, because it was true back
exactly. It's
then.
that they
Yes,
lived it.
girls was having babies, a nigga offer them
Yes.
some bamboo earrings. Next thing they pregnant, they walking down the street with the stroller. Like that shit was really going
Yes.
on. Okay,
Right.
Listen, if I
that
was
shit was really
outside in the
happening.
90s, if I was outside in the 90s, mama,
I
I
say all the
guarantee
time.
you, I would have been Jesse from Poetic Justice. All I would have done
Okay.
is dress
What you
and
mean?
rest.
Oh
Do
no,
you
baby.
hear
Love
me?
Jones for me.
Oh my God.
Love Jones for
It's the
me.
I'm just
disappearing
letting you
acts for
guys
me.
know I'm
It's
gonna
the
have to
brown
drop off
sugar for
at
me.
one because I got a meeting.
Oh,
Okay, well you
go ahead.
I
working.
got a Zoom
You
meeting. So if I
working.
just drop off, y'all know why.
Yeah,
Okay.
we probably gonna wrap up because I want to go live with y'all tomorrow, and or rather some other time. But I have a specific topic that I want to go
Well,
live
this
about.
topic was great today.
It
So I like
was.
the
Thank
topics.
you.
They
I
deep.
appreciate
Yeah.
it. I mean, this is what I wanted to do this for because I, as much as I love watching Housewives, I I just wanted to save all the Housewives Bravo talk for the Housewives cinematic universe. Like I'm doing a show for
Yeah.
that. Like we're
Yeah, it's gonna
doing
be a part
Ready
of
to
who you
Watch.
are. Yeah,
Yeah, like it's always
a
gonna be
small
there.
part.
A small part. So you can catch me doing all the Housewives shit on Hot Messy Topics. You can catch that on Ready to Watch Saturday at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with me, Janelle and Justice.
Oh yeah.
Um, and
I'll be there.
and like, damn. And so like we're going to be talking all things Housewives there. So I don't want to talk about Housewives all week and then get to Saturday and I'd be like, girl,
And repeat what
phoning
you
it in
already
like, girl, I'm
said.
tired of talking about
Yeah.
Housewives. I done said this twice. I done made a video about it. I done talked about it on Hot Messy Topics. Now I'm talking
Yeah.
about it here. I may as well film the damn show.
But
Like,
you know what? At the same
Yeah.
time, though, I always don't get what I need to get out at Hot Messy Topics. Like, I got a lot to say.
which
Okay?
is
It's because it's a
exactly
different
why we
audience.
created which is exactly why we created the HCU because I always leave hot messy topics with oh wait,
I
oh
should have
wait,
said
oh
Mhm.
this.
wait. Dang, I should have said that. Oh, I thought about
Right.
that. He done already dropped me down. Damn.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't want to like
That's why when I come in
monopolize
there,
the
I'll be
whole
like,
show.
and then Wendy, Woo, and Ashley, and then Giselle.
Okay, you be
Yeah.
running
She be
it.
on her
You
points.
be
She be
running
knocking
it.
them
I'd be
out.
like, yes, bullet points. I really just come in and like I'm more so like just throw a topic at me and I'll talk about it.
Mhm.
Cause like
No, and
I'm
you
here
good
for
with that
y'all.
because you break it down to the simplest form real quick.
I
Yeah.
do
Like
what
you be
I
like,
can.
well,
Like,
bottom line is I'm asking this. I'd be like, well, that's what the fuck I'm asking too.
That's what I came here for.
my Virgo is Virgoing. Like, I swear to God.
Yes.
I feel like me as a like I'm built for this because I'm a Virgo. Like the Beyonce in me, the Michael Jackson in me, baby, is
Right.
that is what it is. It's the precision to detail, yet the quickness with the wit. Do you get what I'm saying? And this
Yes.
isn't me bragging on myself. I put a lot of work into my shit. That's why I don't mind popping shit about being talented because I brag about shit that I put work into. Like I
Period.
brag
As you
about
should.
me being lyrically gifted. I brag about me being talented as fuck. I brag about me being able to dance the house down. I brag about me having the gift of gab because I just like I put work into that. But I don't see the value in bragging about being able to buy jewelry, buy this, buy that. Like I we're not gonna talk about that, girl. Girl, we're not gonna talk about that. We can have
If you
that
gotta brag
conversation
about it, it
later.
means you ain't used to having it. So I don't know.
Okay.
Very that, which is why I write about things that I'm not used to having, like fucking confidence. Not
The
to be funny.
Yes.
quietest person in the room is the most powerful person in the room. You know, like I can't
Hmm.
stand the braggers. Like I've always not like that. That's not the
Oh,
I
Jody
can't.
Justice.
that's not the
Hey,
mode.
Jazz, I thought you were gonna call in, girl. I don't know where you at, but thank you so much,
Hey,
girl.
Judgy
I appreciate it.
Justice.
I put this. Listen, I put this in my videos. Like, if you want to buy me lunch or just support the channel, here's my Cash App or whatever, blah blah blah. Like, I do
Hmm.
that, but I don't come on here and I talk about it like I don't mention it in the videos because a part of me is still real like humble and modest and like I don't want to ask for nothing. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm still like prideful in that way. It's like, yeah, like I know we do that and I'm trying to get monetized so that I can make money from my channel and I'm gonna appreciate when people are able to give me the super chats and blah blah blah. But
Hmm.
I just don't feel comfortable asking nobody for nothing. Like, so while I appreciate it, thank you, Justice, for doing that. I'll drop the link for you
That
right
was
now.
so
I just saw you
sweet.
commenting. I appreciate you. Like, listen, that's why that's why I really wanted to make sure that I didn't lose my cool on hot, messy topics because that exchange that me and Justice had, any regular person who hasn't seen me and Justice before would think that we are sitting here arguing on this man's live channel and he just sitting here
Yeah.
looking at us like two bangy black
Oh
bitches.
my God.
I missed it. I didn't see it.
It
Well,
was
you can
good.
go back and watch it.
Jordan is making it
I
I'm
better
haven't
than
watched
what
well.
it
it.
was, in
I
my
I
opinion. It
haven't watched
wasn't that
it.
bad. It
I
was
have
not
not
that
watched it because, girl, I will not. But 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 like immediately after that, I got in our group there and was like, "Girl, listen, I didn't expect that to happen, but if that doesn't promote our live chat, I don't know what the fuck will." Because that was
bad.
great.
Okay, that was amazing. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't bad at
Oh, I gotta
all.
definitely go back and watch it.
I enjoyed
But
that.
like, here's the thing with my girl. Hey, Jess, with my girl,
Hey,
like, we're all just getting to know each other, even though we talk to each other every day, right?
Yeah.
So really,
I
even
talk to
though
y'all more than I talk to my mama.
same, but that's a whole different story, whole different lives. But like the reason why I hit y'all up in the thing, hey Janelle, but the reason why I do that is because I wanted to make sure because I didn't know if my intention came off that this is just us debating, right? So I hit Justice immediately after and was like, girl, it's no shade. We all good. Girl, I love you. We sisters. I just come
I
from a
wasn't gonna
debate
let them
background.
fake booty hoes come between us. And we were talking about
Period.
the
I know
Kardashians.
that's right.
Cause I just like listen. I come from a debate grab. I come from a debate background, and I was raised by former Black Panthers, so I'm a little aggressive by nature. Sorry, Wendy, don't come for me. Find another word to use.
Zen win.
Adam found another word to use, but you couldn't.
Passionate.
Anyway, we'll leave it alone. We'll leave that alone. Y'all tune in to Ready to Watch on Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll get into all of that mess later. But what's going on, Justice? Hey, boo.
Hey, I just got off a job interview and I had to go get my son and then I came back because it's cold
How'd it
out.
go?
Oh, I got the job offer.
Yay!
Yay!
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
But I have
Y'all
wait.
drop triangles and ball headed hoe emojis for justice.
So
Coins in
I'm
the
looking
building, coins in the building.
but I have like two other positions that are supposed to get back to me tomorrow. So I have three I have to pick from.
Yes, all the coins. Girl,
Options.
you
I
better
know
get
that's
all the
right.
coins. I
Yeah,
love
that's
options.
good.
Yeah, yeah. I keep a job.
Okay.
And that's why I'm like, I was trying to give my boss like so many chances to like kind of fix things with us and to like at
Yeah.
least like make a like maybe there's not a path right here right now, but we
Hmm.
can make a path forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she just,
She wasn't
wasn't able
having
to commit to a plan, a true plan. Like she was talking like, oh, maybe at the end of the first quarter we can redo like no, but I need to know what do I need to know to get from here to there.
Hmm.
right.
And she wasn't able to speak to that. So I was like, you know what? It's okay.
Ain't
I,
nothing
She
worse
will
than
get
bad
there.
leadership.
I get high, I get hired. I can get a job tomorrow.
Girl, that's why I'm
Right.
sitting here giving real stay-at-home mom realness right now because poor leadership ran my ass right out the building. And listen,
Yeah. It will do.
I I can deal with a lot, but it gets to a point where I can either clock out or put my hands on you. And I got a child at home, so I don't got time for that. Like I'm not trying to be on YouTube like the girl beating ass in Family Dollar. Like that's not my gig. That's not my
What?
stilo.
Not a
Like
Beating
that's not how I'm trying to go
beating ass
viral.
in Family Dollar. What the
Well,
heck?
that's where I used to work. Shout out to Family Dollar. God bless y'all.
see. I love me some Family Dollar. I'm not even gonna front.
Dollar
I
Tree is
still
where
love
it's
them
at.
too.
I
Man,
love Dollar Tree.
I'm
Thank
so upset
you.
Dollar Tree's no longer going to be
Yeah,
a
Dollar
dollar.
Tree is where it's
Well,
at.
you know that Family Dollar and Dollar Tree just merged, so now they're the same company.
Well, then
Yeah.
that explains
I
why
don't
they're
know
going up on prices at Dollar Tree.
I never,
Because they're
I
merging a lot of the
never,
stores together.
That makes
that
sense.
I'm
sucks.
burning
that.
my little Dollar Tree candles right now.
Okay,
You
I keep them little
better.
tea lights.
The
Yeah.
little,
Girl,
yeah, that's what I
listen.
got going right now with
Little
my
tea
little
lights.
incense. Yeah, that helps
Listen,
me work.
No.
the best wig brushes I have ever owned in my life. I have bought two of the best wig brushes I have ever owned in the history of hair care. Both of them came from Dollar Tree.
I
So,
would
I
not be
love Dollar
surprised.
Tree. Listen,
I
I
be
period.
getting up on Saturday morning. My husband be like, "Where you going?" Dollar Tree. He was like, "What do you need?"
I'm
I don't
screaming.
know. I just want to walk around
Right,
there,
why
see.
not? It's $1.
Oh, that's
No,
my
the thing
husband's
is,
It's
what's
a dollar.
the
vibe.
Make me
Dollar
holler.
Tree is that you can
Okay.
afford it. You can
My
buy.
Right.
husband
If somebody make you upset, you could buy the whole selection of what they wanted.
is stun on their
Right.
ass and walk out.
Walk
Yeah.
out,
Like,
and you just
my
know you get
husband,
$20 just to buy out the store.
literally,
Indeed.
my husband stop. My husband will pull into a Dollar Tree like the hot light is on. Like, that dude will go to a Dollar Tree, like, and mind you, he's a truck driver, so he drives all over the country, right? That's why you never see him, is because he's on the road all the time. But he says hi.
So he's not a
But
ghost.
Bonjour to Jordan's
Hi.
husband.
y'all
And
say hey to my husband Corey, y'all. He's
hey,
probably watching.
Hey
Corey.
Corey, we love you.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, Papo, I love you. Um, but he will pull into a Dollar Tree like the freaking highlight is on. Like, I swear to
I
God,
love
like
it.
No
he will
way.
drive all over, and if he sees a Dollar Tree, he don't give a damn if he gotta walk, ride his scooter, pull the damn truck into the Dollar Tree parking lot. He will show up and show out to a Dollar Tree.
Wow.
Now, my
Hmm.
thing is Big Lots. I love me a Big Lots,
I
mama.
love Big
I
Lots.
love
I
Big
love a
Lots.
Big Lots.
You know
Big
what? You
Lots
know
is my
what? I
spot.
lied just now. I love an Ollie's.
A what?
Yeah.
A what?
Ollie's. Ollie's.
Who'd that be?
So it's like, oh my gosh, it's like a Big Lots, but like with the warehouse kind of feel to it. So
Okay.
it's like Costco and like Big
Oh,
Lots
see, we
put
don't have
together.
those out here.
Yeah, that's
No,
what
we
we have
don't.
out here. It's Ollie's. So like basically it's like stuff that maybe a store wouldn't want. So like this is something I have like in between washes when I have my braids. And
Mm.
it's spray. So, but this could be normally in the store maybe like $7 at like CVS, but there they would have it for like $3.99. It would be like a particular like scent that didn't sell
Mm.
very well. But I'm like, I don't care about that. I just want to clean my hair.
Right.
Right.
Like they'll have like different sales like that. Like I bought like a the big bottle of like Dawn for like $3. Like it's like a whole bunch of stuff, but it changes. And then if you have like kids, it's the best place to go to like, or if you're shopping for kids, it's the best place to go to get like book sets for like the low ski, because then like you get like a regular book, like books are like now like $9 ish for like a nice little one picture book.
Yeah.
You can get them there for like $1.99, $2.99. It beats Ross's prices for books.
Right.
So I love going out to that one. That's my thing.
That's sickening. I love that.
When I hopped on because I heard y'all were talking about when y'all got into that lively debate on Tuesday. Y'all had me rolling. Oh my god!
That's why they canceled the one on Wednesday because of us.
Because of us.
No.
They was like,
I'll
listen,
my
the whole
meeting. I'll
audience
see
need a
y'all
damn
later.
break.
I'll be
All right.
listening.
Let me
All right,
tell you,
baby. Text you later.
I'm not listen, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Me and Adam
Go
were
ahead,
ping-ponging.
girl.
We were ping-ponging. We were like,
Not giving Candace.
I was just sitting
What?
there like, okay.
Girl.
But here's the
Yeah.
thing. I think here's the thing is that this is a common issue. And I'm about to bring up the R word, race. Oh Lord.
Yes.
Whenever
That's
black
the one
people,
R word I love to bring up.
I know, right? I think here's the thing is that when there are two black people, two very fabulous, lively black women living their best lives, debating about an
Speaking of,
issue.
quick sidebar, let me interrupt you real quick. Can we take a moment to drop red triangles for Justice's outfit? This bitch
Yes,
is giving
I
a
love.
whole look in
I love it. The
the
little
chat
I
right
hat.
now,
love
and I
it.
am
Look,
living. Now I don't know if
preview.
this is houndstooth or just like a checker play, but girl, you are giving in this
This is
outfit.
actually crocheted.
It gives me a little
Yes.
Dominique Dunn.
Oh,
So this is either like Lane Bryant or somebody else. I don't know.
I
somebody.
need
I love
triangles
it.
in
Yeah,
the chat for this outfit.
Love
if
it.
you have
Love it.
somebody on somebody's name on my back, it better be expensive.
It better be, girl. It better be, girl.
It better be.
Seriously. Go
Right.
ahead, Janelle, baby.
What I was gonna say is that I think is that because at first I was like, are they being serious? Or are they just like debating? When I realized y'all were just debating, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna listen because I have no skin in this game. I don't like I say I'm good. So but I think also I think is that people always misconstrue that when black people get extremely passionate, that is anger and that is aggression, and that was not the case. I just did not want y'all to keep going because I already. It's like sometimes I always like I'm thinking in the future, and I'm already thinking people are going to think that they are being angry. Let's just
Yes.
stop this. Let's just stop this.
When I
That's
read
why they're like, okay, everybody, let's give Adam back the control. It had nothing to do with what both of y'all were saying. I was just thinking
Yeah.
about the public perception of like, oh my God, they're gonna think Jordan and Justice are like going at it, about to like go fisticuffs, and that is not the case because I'm
about to go meet him out there in Alabama.
right,
Like we finna go meet in the YouTube parking lot and scrap it
right.
out. Like, girl, come
I'm like
on.
because we have
Right.
That's why I took my wig off, bitch. No, I'm just,
like I'm in a
I'm
group
gonna be over
where
there grabbing nothing but scalp.
just good old clean, freshly
y'all
moisturized
better wear your
scalp,
Vaseline
girl.
if you're gonna be scratching. Just wear your Vaseline in case you be scratching. Okay, that's what
She gonna be grabbing that tea tree oil, girl.
And one thing I have learned in New York, and one thing someone told, I remember when I was teaching, a kid told me, he was like, yo, you get in a fight, Miss Allen, you put that Vaseline on your face. All they're going to be scraping is just creamy stuff. They're going to be scraping your skin. I was
That
like,
is
what?
too funny.
I said, why is this child teaching me how to fight?
Right. Like, wait a minute. What
But
we doing
I,
all of that?
But one thing is like for
yeah.
me, I was taught something different.
What you were taught?
Take your like in school, because then nobody, if you want to fight somebody, because they won't be able to touch you if you're naked. So you
Quick
take
sidebar, guys. Y'all are about to see me driving, but I'm not actually driving. I'm just moving my car so that I can get my kid off the bus. But I'm not sure if she is riding the bus home or if she has her ASP today. So I'm going up there just in case. But I'm not actually driving. I'm just moving to the top of the
What
driveway.
is the issue? Okay. I personally don't understand this whole issue with Jordan driving. I never understood it because I remember I
don't know even how it became a thing because he was talking and like
I remember seeing comments. I remember seeing
Yeah,
comments
on the
about
hot
him
messy
driving.
topics. Yeah.
Well, listen.
I think it's because they were because he can multitask. because she
Yeah.
can
Yes.
multitask and everybody else can't. That's the problem. She can
Because
multitask and everybody else can't.
because I saw her driving and I was just like, okay,
I thought it
cool.
Like
was
it's
cool
not like I'm
though.
not
I didn't
looking
think
at the
nothing of it
road. Like I'm not
either.
looking at the camera.
And I was
Yeah,
just
Like,
I thought
like,
it was.
Yeah.
I thought it
and
was
I
cool
just
because I was
all
just
these
like,
comments just started coming through, like, oh my god, Jordan's driving, Jordan's driving,
oh my
Jordan's
god,
driving,
he's
and
gonna
I was just
crash.
like, I
Yeah,
don't
like what
understand
about
what
the
this
other
is doing.
drivers? I'm like, it's not that serious, y'all. If y'all don't know how to drive and talk to people at the same time, you don't need to be driving. That's just what it is.
I'm like, y'all don't have no what? Y'all must have got some old cars because I got Bluetooth in mine and I be talking and driving.
Right, girl got a a review camera and everything, a
Like
backup
how
camera.
like how many times has
yeah,
like my parents have the GPS system where the phone call comes through the GPS system,
Yeah,
and
that's
so like
Bluetooth.
yeah.
we always think Bluetooth because I don't know. Listen, my car's from
Well,
I
2000.
have two
technology,
Bluetooth
so
transmit. There's two of those in my car. Like I've got one for music and one just to charge my phone. But I have two Bluetooth transmitters in my car. So
Hmm.
everything I do is literally hands free. But that that affected me because that was gonna be the premise of my whole damn channel. Like I was gonna do every video driving. That was
Right.
gonna be my
I don't
whole
mind it. I
channel.
like it still. So
there's
I
And
people
like
like
cannot.
there's people that drive, drive and do
Adam,
things all the time because I've like seen other YouTubers do it,
I
TikTokers
was
do
gonna
it.
say that I've
I
seen that
don't really
before.
see what
So
the concern is.
Adam hit me up and was like, "Well, if you're gonna come on Hot Messy Topics, well, if you're gonna call in, can you please like park because the comments have been crazy or whatever, blah 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 blah." And
yeah,
so like I was like, "No problem, it's fine, whatever, blah blah blah." I was just more so driving just for phone service, but I was more so practicing for me doing my own channel because like I said, that was gonna be the premise of my whole damn channel.
And it still is. I mean, here my thing is this. I think Adam has also said that he gets a lot of DMs that we are unaware of. This is stuff that
Yes,
does not
hmm,
come through on the live chat, and he
100%.
reads all the DMs. Whether people want to believe that or not, he reads all of them. And
Yeah.
so he was probably getting like, "Oh my God, Jordan's driving. Oh my God," and
yeah,
like I understand for the sake of safety why people
Yes.
would want you to pull over Jordan. I personally,
100%.
I'm from Florida. People be driving crazy all the time. So I'm just like, it's whatever. Like I see people be texting and I see people be like dealing with their children in the back seat. Like
right.
I
Coming out
like
the
I'm
drive
just
through.
whatever. It's like as long as Jordan is paying attention to the road, I could not care less. I don't know why because I remember seeing the comments and I don't think I was on the panel. I think I was just like watching a
In the
video
chat.
in
Hmm.
the
I
chat, but I
remember.
was watching the live chat and I'm like, why is everyone commenting on Jordan driving?
Right. Why
Who
is it a
cares?
big deal?
What?
See,
Who
I
cares?
thought
here's
it
the way that
started
I
off
saw it.
as a joke.
I
And
only
then
Here's
think
the
Adam and
Me
Jason
too. I thought
caused
it was
it.
just they were messing. I thought they were just picking at you at first, Jordan, as a joke. Like
No,
just
we had the
yeah.
conversation and I just laughed at it, so we made it a
Hmm.
joke.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So like, yeah, because when we started joking about it, me and Adam and hey
Oh,
baby,
so cute.
Hi.
Little
hi
handsome
honey,
selves.
You're so
hi.
shy. You on these
Drop
internet
triangles for
streets.
the baby. Oh, hey
Right.
sugar. But like
Babe.
So
by
cute.
the time we
Babe.
had started joking about it,
Yep.
like we had already talked about it. So it was a running
Yeah.
joke because Adam had asked me, "Am I parked?" So that's where I came up with the whole thing of I'm in the YouTube parking lot. That's where that
Yeah.
came from. Was me saying like I'm parked somewhere. I was actually at the time I was in the AutoZone parking lot, but we're not going to talk about that.
Get in the
But
zone.
like
Auto zone.
AutoZone, love that. But like I was just whatever. But that was going to be my whole thing. I didn't see a problem with it because I'm a type of person I GPS everywhere I go
Mm.
and I have my like phone up on GPS in the same place that I had the camera when I was on live stream. So I didn't see any difference between me looking back and forth from my phone to
Right.
the thing as it was me looking at the GPS. That's why I didn't see it as an issue. But I'm not gonna make a make a fuss about it when I'm going on somebody else's shit and they're giving me a platform. Like,
Right.
regardless of if I see it as a problem, it's not them. Like they told me to not drive, not like watch my mouth. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
It's
it
not
really
like
was
you
like
were
no
on
big
the live
deal.
saying you weren't saying derogatory stuff. Like you were just You were
Yeah.
speaking, you were talking about the topics at hand, and Adam and Jason. Like, I honestly, out of all the panelists, I really do think they adore you the most, and I think that's such a
Mhm.
beautiful
Oh,
thing.
Because you
don't
also
gas me,
you
girl.
get you get the
We
chat
on my
going.
channel, but don't gas me,
Yeah,
girl.
like
I
people be
ain't,
in the
I
chat
ain't
You
not
get
going.
the
nasty.
chat
No,
going.
listen,
Like it's like
listen.
it goes like this. It's like Jordan gets the chat going, then Janelle,
Yeah.
then it's like I say something that people don't agree with, so then they come to me,
And then
and then it's like bad and bougie.
and then now
Yeah.
and then Mocha Rain has now been commenting more. I really like
Yes,
Tatiana and I think Andrea Canuck, the lady from Canada. Like,
yes.
and
I
then
Mhm.
like
I
Kristen
love
the
that
Math
Kristen is
Nerd.
calling in.
I
Because
like
listen,
Kristen the Math
Kristen the
Nerd.
math nerd, I
her.
talk to
I
her
like
on
her.
Twitter and text message all day, every
I love
day.
Fuck
Me
with
and
texting
her
her.
with her.
stay
I
talking to each other. I'm
Yeah,
I
so
like
glad
she's
she started
texting with
calling.
persistent.
her because she doesn't take it too far. Like,
Mhm.
you can just have like, you could disagree about something and it still be like
And
cool.
just leave it where it is.
And
Yeah.
leave where
Yeah.
it is. Because some things she says, oh, I was like, well, I don't agree with that. But it's like, but besides if we agree or disagree, I still love what she's saying.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my
Agreed.
god, and I love, and like I was telling someone yesterday about like why I love hopping on these YouTube lives, and I was like, because I don't get a chance to talk about Bravo with my friends or my family. They all think it's stupid. Like my mom goes like, oh my god,
My husband does not give a damn about any housewives. The only housewives that he cares about any is the Real
it's
Housewives
you.
of Atlanta. Well, me,
I
of
was gonna
course.
say that,
You know,
yeah.
happy wife, happy life. But
Period.
the only
Always.
housewife franchise that he will bother to watch is Atlanta, and he don't give a damn about that because Nene left. So now it's like I really
Mhm.
can't talk Bravo with him. He's more of like, we'll watch The Masked Singer. He don't give a damn about Bravo.
Right.
I like the Masked Singer. I
I
really
I
do.
haven't
know.
watched it in like 3 seasons. I
I
ain't
really
watched it
like
since
that
Candy
show.
One, to be honest.
I
So
mean, I like it just because it's just a different. Give me. I got
format
it.
of television.
Yeah, it's a different format of television, so it's like. And then also, even though like I don't really care about their guesses and stuff, it's just a fun little thing. Because I think for me, honestly, I have a guilty thing where I like game shows. I like competition
Mm.
shows. Those
Mhm.
Yeah.
are something that I really enjoy overall. Like I like the challenge. I've watched like I
Oh
probably should.
Yes.
Girl,
yes.
I haven't watched
I
it.
I love
miss
Reward
Yeah,
road
I
rules
Challenge.
though.
love the
Like
challenge.
I
I
thought I was
love
gonna
the
go on
challenge,
there.
but I miss road rules. Like I
Yeah,
miss
I
when
thought
they
I
were
was
Road
doing
gonna
Rules
be
is
on that
actual
show.
so
road rules.
good. Oh my
Road
god,
rules
it's
was
so good.
so good. But listen, I
Right.
love old game shows because I still if if you don't see me on somebody's live, I'm either watching somebody's random YouTube channel or I'm watching Wheel of Fortune daytime from 1986.
Yeah.
My mom too.
I
Oh
Specifically.
my god,
I
my
yeah.
love
mom
that.
loves doing that. My mom loves
Yes.
watching. She loves watching Real of Fortune from the 80s. She loves watching
Yes.
all these old game shows from the 70s. Like
It's so good.
there was this one game show that Alex Trebek used to host back in the 70s and 80s.
I
And
can't
she
remember the
said,
name of it, but I know what you're talking
you
about.
know what I'm talking about? And so we're
Hmm.
watching it, and I can't stop looking at Alex Trebek's Jerry Curl. I'm just like, what is this? But
Baby.
we be watching it. And I was like, Mom, this is ridiculous. And she goes like, No, it's good. It's good. Trust me. I used to watch this when I was your age. It's really good. And I was
She's
like,
right
why?
about Wheel of Fortune daytime, honey. Wheel of Fortune daytime is like
Yes,
even the ones before Pat Sajak. Like
Yeah.
people don't even realize that there was a host of Wheel of Fortune before Pat Sajak and Vanna White.
yes,
Like there was a whole different chick up there turning numbers,
yep,
physically turning
yep.
the letters by hand. Like it's so good. Oh
It's
my
so good.
god, I
And
love
the
it.
thing is, I tell her like, oh mom, this is silly, like whatever. Child,
You're
why
a
am
little
I calling
dangerous.
out the answer? Like I was like, and I just said 5 seconds ago, I didn't care.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Calling it corny and solving the puzzle.
right, but it's okay. I mean, I've done game shows before, so that's probably why I'm like, oh my god, it's this.
I
So
love
yeah, I
that.
was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire back in the day. I was on there twice. So yes, I. You
Man,
didn't.
you know what? I've never had the
Look at
confidence
so
to even
shocked.
right.
Yes.
No, I'm like,
Right.
how do I not recognize you? Because I feel like, what year were you? Like, up until like,
2016 or
well, that's why.
2017.
That's why. Because I was about to
Um,
say, up until 2015, I've seen every single episode of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in real time.
yeah,
But then I just fell off because they kept changing the host, and I was getting offended.
I was
So,
on when Chris Harrison was the host.
Go get a bowl.
who was the host?
Chris
Meredith, you said?
Harrison. Chris Harrison.
Oh, Chris Harrison. Okay, okay.
Mhm.
I didn't see
Yeah.
none of his tenure. I'm sorry.
No,
I,
it's totally fine. No, I mean, no, he's. I mean, the show's canceled,
I
so it's,
love, I really liked what is
fine.
it? Deal or No Deal was my thing.
Yes,
I
I
Because
love Deal or
everybody in
No
the house be
Deal.
guessing which briefcase had the most money in it.
The
right.
And then it was
tension.
like every round. Then it's like, okay, well, yours is missing now. Are you gonna are you gonna switch it up to this one? And there's like 8 of us in the house, so it's like a lot of us are like betting on here pretty
Yeah.
good.
Right.
All right. Well, I would love to stay on, but I came on during a quick break from work. I need to go back to work because
All right.
I need to answer some emails. But I will be on the live with. I'll be there at 6 on Adam's channel.
We're doing hot messy topics tonight.
You doing it
Yes,
tonight?
he announced it.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Because if they weren't doing a hot messy topics, I was just gonna go live again.
Oh no. I was watching when I was working this morning. I was just listening to his live with Zach Peters,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and he
Triggered.
said, "No, we're definitely going live at 6
Mm.
because I need to hear what people have to say after last night's reunion." And I have watched the episode, and I have multiple thoughts about.
So many.
I have so many thoughts about that reunion. I'm just gonna say this. I have been a witness in a legal case before. And one of the questions they always ask you is, have you ever had a conversation with the defendant about X, Y, and Z?
Mm.
Mhm.
And I tell them exactly what we talked about because I don't want to be implicated. So
Yeah.
Right.
I got very upset with Erica when she said all the ladies had to do was just call me and be like, "This is what's up." No,
But you never
How?
created a
No.
safe space for that though. You literally bit everyone's head off every time they had a question. So
Exactly.
Every
girl,
time.
knowing the source didn't help at all. Oh
And
my
they all
God.
saw how you treated Sutton the moment it
Exactly.
came out
Like
that
you
she
threatened to
called
sue her
me.
and sock her in the fucking mouth, bro.
Right,
Like,
Exactly.
what type of safe space is that? That's
right.
like me asking y'all to come on here, share your stories about what makes you confident, and then be like, "Girl, you stupid for that. Why would you think that, girl? Why would you do
Right.
Exactly.
that?"
Like,
Like,
girl, that's not how it works.
Exactly. And I think I was just like, yes, they should be worried because they could be subpoenaed and they're going. And then one of the questions we asked, what did Erica Girardi tell you? Or what did she discuss with you? I mean,
yes,
it's like
Mhm.
you do not have to be a rocket scientist to not know that. Like, hello, it's like you see it on Law and Order, you see it on every freaking legal TV show ever. Do you even see it on these judge shows where the
Yeah.
judge asks you,
Yeah.
well, what did y'all discuss? Like,
I've heard Judge Mathis say that a couple times.
I mean,
yeah.
hello. Because the thing is with these judge shows is all the judges have had to have law experience before even be considered a TV judge.
Well, except for Steve Harvey
Well,
and
okay,
Yeah.
Fucking
Judge
Chrissy
Mel
Teigen.
Bean. What was her name? Mel.
no, she was a lawyer. She was a judge before.
Who?
Oh, I thought she wasn't. I was
Mel,
listening.
I know you're talking about the lady.
The one who did People's Court and then before.
No, she was a
No,
lawyer.
not People's Court.
She was a lawyer
Divorce
before.
Court.
She was a lawyer before.
Oh, you're talking about Judge Lynn Toller.
No, not
No.
Oh, I thought she did divorce court.
the one that there was somebody before her.
I know you're talking about
Oh,
Judge like Mel Bean or May Bean.
Maybelline, not Maybelline.
Judge
Oh, Judge
Maybelline.
Maybelline?
Yeah, Judge Maybelline. She was
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, Judge Maybelline. I forgot about Judge Maybelline. Why did I
no, I
not
didn't.
connect those two shows? I don't know. I have
No,
no
she
She
idea.
was on the Tyler Perry movie. You remember?
Yeah, she was.
I will
Huh?
never
She
forget her.
was. She was.
Yeah,
Yes.
Medea, not
never
Medea goes to
forget.
jail. She was in the one before
Yeah,
that.
I will never
Yes.
forget.
She
Kiki
was a
Palmer, that one.
I'm
Yeah,
tired
that
of
one.
locking you up,
prosecutor.
Medea.
Oh, the family joint. That's what it was. Family
Yeah,
reunion.
No, she
yeah,
was.
there we go.
She's
Yeah.
like, you know what? I got some grits on the stove.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Medea's family reunion. No, Judge Maybelline was a prosecutor in L.A. Before.
Okay.
So Steve Harvey's the exception to the rule, but everyone else has been a lawyer and/or judge before becoming a TV judge, and
That's
that's
good to
usually
know.
That's usually the
Mhm.
requirement.
His mustache is breaking the mold.
Oh Lord,
baby.
Girl.
Well,
Lord.
before you get back to work, Justice, do you want to contribute anything to the confidence conversation? Give our listeners something from your perspective about how you feel confident, what makes you confident, and any type of last, parting words from, the great live.
Me or Janelle? Because I'm
You said
finished.
Janelle,
justice. Oh, you
did
said
I say
justice.
Justice?
You said justice.
Yeah, you said
I
justice.
really
That was
meant
funny
Janelle.
too.
Oh,
Sorry.
I was
I
like,
really meant
oh, I
Janelle.
thought it
Sorry.
was silent.
I
What
really meant
makes me
Janelle. Sorry.
confident?
Because I'm like, I'm working right now and talking.
It's
Okay.
all the J's. Like I get child. Child.
Okay. Um, what I
Jason needs to just have his own live and just call us the J's.
the
Yes.
Right.
J.
The J's.
Like J
Adam will
chat.
feel left
Like
out. No, we can't leave Adam out.
he can pop in.
He could pop in. He
He
could
can
pop
call
in.
in like the rest. No, let me stop.
No, I actually went and watched their interview with Kempire about how they got together, and I found it to be like the
I've been meaning to
sweetest
watch that.
thing.
I have it saved in my
I haven't seen it.
save to watch later playlist.
Yeah, I finally got a chance to I finally got around to watching it yesterday, and I was just like, oh my god, I want to be in love too. Um
Uh,
but no, I ain't got nobody right now, so I'm single, ready to mingle.
Um,
So what makes me confident? Oh my gosh. I mean, let's see. I think standing in my truth and also standing in what gives me happiness and passion. I think external
mhm.
validation is a real thing, and it's something that I'm constantly working through and working on to find validation within myself versus from other people. It's
mhm.
very hard, especially in today's age with social media and everything being extremely public and nothing and what is private these days.
Yeah.
So I think when because I'm an actress and writer. So when I feel extremely confident is when I am able to, and when I know that I have nailed the part for a role that I've been given, or when I have written a screenplay and I'm like, yes, like this, I know this is good. And
Mhm.
then, yeah, sometimes I get the external validation from when someone else reads. I'm like, oh my God, this is good. I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy, even though I didn't need
Yeah.
that confirmation, but it's nice to hear. And so,
Yeah.
and I'm
I get
grateful,
exactly what you mean.
and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the fact that someone felt the need to say those nice things to me because there's a lot of haters out here. And
Yes.
so I feel like also because I grew up I was one of the few black people in my class, and I grew up in the South, so I was dealing with lots of racism, and then also I'm fat, and so I'm tall. I'm taller. I was taller than most of my classmates, so I had a lot of people call me gorilla and call me all these horrible things,
Wow.
and so I have to be really, I'm extremely thankful for my parents because they always taught me how beautiful I am and how intelligent I am, and
Mhm.
that, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So if those racist white kids want to say some stupid shit at school, it's okay because I'm gonna go home and I'm like, I'm a princess,
That part.
right?
Catch.
So I really do find confidence in knowing that I know I'm beautiful. I know that I'm intelligent. And I also and when I say standing strong in my truth, it's like knowing that I am an honest person and I'm always going to keep it real with people.
I love
And
that.
no, because I'm a terrible liar. So I'm always going to keep it real with people. And I appreciate that part about myself. And that gives me confidence.
I
So
love that.
I have found that I have to really look within myself because also I went to acting
Mhm.
school, and there's gonna be there every single day. There's always somebody coming for me every single day. Like I never got a break. so
I feel you on that.
I mean, because I was also dealing with these very upper class white students who thought they knew more than me, and one of my favorite acting teachers who actually passed away yesterday. I found out.
My
Um,
Mhm.
condolences.
Oh, thank you. He was a great man, and he noticed how all the upper class, um, how these upper class rich students were making fun of me, and so he personally like kept me close to him because he was like, "Oh no, you're great," and they know you're great. So that's why they hate on it.
Yeah.
And so it's like it was like okay, like it really just proved to me like Janelle, you're good. Like these people are telling you because they know you're good. So you need to start believing it in within yourself. And then also there's a few black students at my acting school, and they always try to pit us against each other. So it's like I was also getting hate from that, which was really saddening because I wanted to be like with the other black folks and be like, yo, we gonna stick together. But that was
Right.
not the case. So I really had to find confidence within myself because I was not getting it externally from other people, unless like my acting teacher or my parents and whatnot. So that's my
See,
long response to how I find confidence. Ew.
Ew. Girl, I spelled that in a text that I sent to Jason. I spelled it ANOWWWW, like ew, right?
Ew.
That's really what Adam is missing. It's the ew,
Ew. I told it's from the back of the throat.
A-N. It's the
When Cardi B goes
A-N.
like the dingling, when you put that dingling thing back in my throat, ew, like it's
It's called a uvula.
Thank you. I don't know the scientific word.
Oh
I
my
just like that
god.
word, but I do know that it's called a
Uvula.
uvula.
It's
It is a uvula. Yeah.
vibrating the what's it, uvula?
Uvula. Yeah.
You
Uvula.
are vibrating the uvula, Adam. Because he sounds like a cat. I was like, no, you can't.
He
So,
sounds just like Silas, my damn cat. I'm like, please don't, because I listen to him bitch and moan all day and night about being in a
Oh
cage.
no.
Please don't remind me. I don't need that. Like,
we're gonna
put a
work with
little
Adam on
stank
it.
on it.
By the end of 2021,
We gonna get him with the ew,
he gonna
long
come
and
on
short.
live and be like, well, hello everybody. Ew.
Hi, 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 hi.
Hello.
Ew. I'm gonna be like, ah.
I don't wait. Is it hi 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 or hey 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 hey? Because
No,
I'm
it's hi, hi, hi,
He
hi, hi.
does hey, hey. Then he does hi, 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 hi. Like
Yeah.
3 highs and then one
Mm-hmm.
big one. It's like hi, 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 hi.
Yeah. I just wish I
Then he
had
does
their
hey,
energy. The
hey,
fact
hey.
that they go to the gym every morning, I think I need that type of energy because my
well,
ass.
but also they have each other to lean on because I'm like, if one doesn't want to
I'm
go,
Yeah,
doing
you
it by
need a support
myself.
system.
I don't want to
Right.
like
Right.
no, not
I'm
gonna want
doing
to
it by
sleep with you
myself. I ain't
if
got
you don't
nothing
have
but
those
Ice
nice
Cube.
abs.
And
Shoot, that's why
baby,
I
I ain't
need.
got nothing but Ice Cube to motivate me. Ice Cube and Megan Thee Stallion.
Okay.
I
Hey.
oh my god.
So Megan will definitely
Sometimes
motivate you.
oh yes, you will. Sometimes I really,
Period.
if I need to feel like motivated, I'll put on "Have Mercy" by Chloe Bailey. I'm like,
Oh
I
okay,
yes.
love
my
that
good.
song.
I'm like, okay.
Yes.
I said, okay, I feel good. Let's do this. And
Okay, period. I love that. I what about you, Justice? Like since I accidentally called Janelle you, but just for some reason I get y'all confused like y'all are my actual sisters. Because I actually have two sisters who are not twins, and then I have two sisters that are twins. But I never get the
Hmm.
twins confused, but I always get my older sisters confused. And I don't know why. But the ones
it's
that aren't
okay.
twins, those are the ones that I get confused all the time. But I've never gotten the twins confused.
Oh, it
Never.
happens to me and my cousin all the time. My cousin's name is Deja, and I mean, people always like I'll get called Deja or she'll get called Janelle, and it's like, and we kind of look similar too, but like we're not twins, and people do all the time. So it is what it is. Fabulosity recognizes fabulosity.
I love that.
Real quick,
I,
I just want to say I really enjoyed this. I'm actually about to hop off. Got some things to
I'm actually
do.
about to close because I have to go and get my
Yeah.
kid.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So
Well,
I'm gonna hop off too. I will see y'all at 6.
All
okay.
right.
All right,
Bye,
babe.
y'all. Bye,
See y'all
Reese.
then. Thank you
Bye.
guys so much. I love y'all. Justice, did you want to contribute to the topic before we log off? Because I am like 20 minutes away from like having to go get in the car line, but I don't want to leave without asking you what you feel about it.
Honestly, I think everybody's kind of said everything that could be said about it, honestly. I don't have anything in particular that's like special about me. I know
Mhm.
like yesterday I was like a little bit like bothered with like trying to find another job, and then now I got another job in a sense, because I was starting to lose confidence because it's a lot, to apply. And then a lot of those jobs you don't hear back from, or you just
Mhm.
get the automatic like, no.
100%.
So it's just like, or you interview and then you never hear back. And just like, oh.
I have gone through it, girl. I know that. Girl,
So
I know it.
So that it's just I think it's honestly about just making sure that you reevaluate your own self on your own standards,
Hmm.
not necessarily others. I think that's something that like I've always done that's different than other people. It's just the fact that like I know who I am, I know what I like, I know what I'm gonna be about, and other people just have to get in line and get moved. That's it. Because if
I dig that.
it's a personal problem, honestly. If like if you don't like my hair, that's a personal problem. You don't like my sweater, it's a personal problem. You don't like that I wear my bonnets on lives, that's a personal
That's a
problem.
personal problem, bitch. If I was still wearing wigs, I would definitely come on with a bonnet. But now that everybody knows I'm on my bald headed hoe shit, now I just think it'll look stupid. But I might do it to be funny.
I mean,
Who
like
knows?
honestly, I think like you're allowed to like change however you want to be looking. I think it's just like making sure
Yeah,
you're
I
the
know.
same, thing. Because like the only thing I have to say is like I just don't like when people change like extremely every time you see them, especially on
Yeah.
TV. Because it was Ready to Love season one. There was a doctor on the show, and she needed some help. She needed some intervention, because child, she wore
Baby.
she wore every I think she wore every bit of the makeup aisle on her face,
Girl. I.
and
Oh, yes, popcorn.
oh, and and it was and and it's just like why and it was also her hair, she was different wigs, and it was like
Hmm.
not even a set style in the wigs either, because like some people they may only like do body wave, or
Yeah.
yep, you can have those body waves, or bobs, or like they have a distinct kind of
They
look.
have a signature. Yeah.
Man, this woman was wearing Brazilian curly, then she was wearing body waves short, and then she was wearing afro, then it was a mess. So
Ooh, you better. Girl, I'm somewhere in the middle. Like I like variation of style, but I think I get what you mean about like the the drastic changes are sometimes off-putting because it's like you don't recognize them when they change dramatic
exactly,
like
and then
dramatically.
also this is not like a big time frame either. This is like probably in the matter of like 2 weeks, and you've worn all these different styles.
Hmm.
So it's just like
Yeah, I completely feel you. Diana is going to leave me with the closing comment because this is perfect. Well, actually, Diana and Mary Lavin. Diana said, "I love your bonnets, Judgy."
thank you.
Period. Period. We love a bonnet. And in fact, me and you should just go on high messy topics tonight wearing a bonnet.
Yeah, bonnet gang. We got to tell Janelle so she can do bonnet too.
So we can all just go on wearing bonnets.
Yeah.
Where t- jump down in the group thread, tell her to wear a bonnet on the group thread, and I'm about to go and get my kid. But was there anything else that you wanted to say before I dropped you down? Mary Lavin also said, "I'm happy that I get to." I'm happy I got to get all of these comments on that I don't get in the messy topics channel until they're on that subject. Thank you. This is why I wanted to do my own lives too, because I don't always want to talk about Bravo subjects, and Bravo is not the only thing that I want to do content on. So like I enjoy being able to sit and just have real conversations about real stuff, and I got a bunch of real ass people that are willing to call it.
And then also like tying it into reality too, because some of this is related, but it's just
Yeah.
like, and then also some of the stuff is like it ain't real. Like why we gotta talk about Sonia on OnlyFans? That's
I don't want to talk about her. Try, I don't want to. Ew. We ain't even gonna mention that over here. Anyway,
why we talking about this? Why we talking about that? Like, and it's just like some of it is like not even like to me newsworthy, or like
yeah,
we spend too much time on that topic. Like
yeah.
the stuff with like Lala and Randall Rand. I don't know what he is, what his name is exactly, but like
Well, I
all of
think that's
that
more
is
so because like you don't really give a damn about like Vanderpump Rules or like what they're doing and all of that stuff. Like I try to be varietized and like just kind of go with the flow because there are just shows that I don't watch. So if they want to talk about Below Deck or like 90 Day Fiance. I don't watch those shows, but I can talk about the show situationally based on what's going on in the episode. I could talk about that, even though I don't watch the show. So even if it's not necessarily an important topic to me, I still try to just give what I can give to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's not my channel, it's not my platform, so it's like I'm just happy to be here. I'm always that girl. It's like I'm just happy to be here, girl. So I'm just gonna give what I can give to what needs to be gave. But that's why we all have our own channels. We all have our own
Yeah.
outlets so we can create our own content based on what specifically interests us. So that's why we all need to continue to uplift each other, work with each other, collab with each other, go live with each other, do all of that because we all have different views and different types of content. Your content isn't the same as mine. Mine isn't the same as Adam's. His isn't the same as Jason's. Like we all do different stuff, but we can all come together and have a spirited conversation about the same thing, like that's cool to me.
Yeah, I think that's cool as well. For me, I'm just, it's just for me, some of the topics, or like when he brings me up for certain topics, I'm like,
I
man,
wouldn't want to talk about that topic.
yeah, it's like, I don't, it's like also like, and then also it's like another thing is that I'm also, I think like that's why I'm like considered judgy in a sense, because like, and that's why I played on that more so because honestly,
Roll with it.
it's just like, some of it is like, girl, you fumbled the bag. You should have married him, got a prenup. Cause like, I went that separates you and his finances,
Right,
you and his debts. So if he
right.
gets in the debt, he had debts before he met you. All of
Hmm.
those debts are not yours when you leave the marriage. Or
Right.
if like, or if like, for example, man and woman they get married, he ends up having like, being really sick, dies, all of these medical bills. You can then you when you because he's dead, you're not responsible for all his the bills.
100%.
So I think that's why I think people think on the short side of like the prenup. Oh, you just trying to keep your money. I'm trying to keep what my debt is my debt, and what his
His
debt
debt is
is
his
his
debt. Maybe had Erica had a damn prenup, she wouldn't be in the problem that she's in now, being sued for $25 million of Tom's debt.
debt. Yeah, because guess what? Because they would have to figure out exactly when did this debt take place.
Hmm.
Like, and then it goes back decades. So it goes back like at least 3 decades of him having issues with paying these people. So it's
Right.
like this entire time. So that was before your time. A lot of that you could kick off and say like, you didn't know, and then you'd be able to prove some of this better. But honestly, Erica, we ain't believing you, girl. You gonna have to come up with that paper. You gonna have to make.
Listen.
You might as well join Sonia on the OnlyFans.
Listen, I said on my recap today, it's up now on my channel. Y'all can go watch it. I said in my recap, I was like, I'm not talking about her no more. I don't want to hear about her. I don't care about Erica's story until all the verdicts and all of this mess is settled and everything is on paper and the ink is dry. I don't want to hear nothing else until we have the final word on what this is going to be because I'm tired of the semantics and the BS that Erica spins. I'm over it. So I'm not talking about Erica no more. I don't give a damn if the fourth part of the reunion is all Erica. I'm not talking about it. I'll talk about Andy's shoes all for an hour.
I didn't even get a chance to even watch it. I was gonna watch it right before we go to messy topics because I know it's gonna be brought up. But
100%.
it's just like because I put it on DVR, but it's like man, because they just be antagonizing me. I feel they be gaslighting me. But I know you gotta go. I know I
Yeah.
gotta go watch this thing before we go live.
Yeah.
And I
And
just
I
want
eventually have to edit my Moesha recap and put that up, but that's not going to take too long since it's
uh,
short.
I like honestly I gotta. I'm so sorry to tell you this. I won't watch any of your Moesha videos because I don't like Moesha.
It's, I mean, that's fine. We'll do other shows. There's girlfriends, half and half, one on one. There's
Yeah,
so many shows, but
I
Moesha
just
is just my favorite.
I'm more of a
We can
Parker's.
talk about.
Parker's.
Listen, we can debate about it on live
We
at
may
some
have to do
point.
we may have to put that and we may have to do like a 90s like themed recap with just like the R. Kelly video and then picking like an episode or two of like or a favorite like saying from like a 90s TV show. That would be a really cool thing.
Get in
But
the group thread and flesh that out because I'm willing to do it. Like I have the time, so I'm
me
willing
too.
to gonna go live, make videos, and do what we need to do. So get in the group thread and hit me up, or just DM me, or you know where to find me. But hit me up. I'm actually getting ready to go because she didn't ride the bus. That means she's in ASP, so I want to go get in the car line.
Mm.
But thank you so much for calling in. I'm about to hop off of here. Thank all the people that called in: Jesse, Kiki, Janelle, Bad and Bougie. Thank all of y'all. Y'all my girls. And we probably about to jump right off of here and jump right into a text thread. So I'll see you in a minute.
All right. Bye.
Bye, babe. Thank everybody for watching. I really appreciate every last one of y'all for tuning in. The people who have been here for the last 3.5 hours, I love you so much. Thank you so much for coming in, tuning in. Thank you for being here. Y'all don't know what it means to me. I love y'all so much, but I have to go get my kid. So I hope that all the tea that we spilled on all things confidence was entertaining for you, and I hope that our opinions sweeten the hell out of it for you. So with that being said, I'm I, I'm about to go get my baby, and then I'm eventually gonna hop on Hot Messy Topics. Y'all are gonna get a Moesha recap from me. My Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap is up now, and so yeah, y'all will see me. Y'all, y'all will see me again soon. Maybe I'll go live tomorrow. We'll see. But thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate everybody. Yo, Bricks, love the discussion. Thank you so much. Rounds one, thank you so much. Bye, baby. I love you. Andrea, thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all. And all the people who are left in the chat, thank y'all so much. And I'll holler at y'all soon. Peace. Bye, baby gorgeous.